Glow.
Yeah, Glow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
flew with
lie. I
glow.
can't
I
lie.
flew
That's
with glow.
that.
Glow is glowing
Listen,
right now.
listen. That song,
Yeah, Glow.
like even though we know the original versions of that song where they put it together from, and a lot of
Yeah,
these young folks don't know that that's various elements of old songs
right,
from back in the '90s, but
right.
it hits. It hits.
I can't
It
lie. I
I
does.
can't
respect
lie.
it. I
I can't
respect it.
lie. That's pretty creative. Yeah, Glow. So
Yeah,
I mean, I ain't
And
mad at it.
she rocked it. I
no,
like it.
you
I
know
still
what?
laugh off of her music and
I
And
love it.
she got
with a
Crubans on
Cuban.
Crubans. Don't play with
She
her.
got the
Curbans on
Cuban,
Curbans. Yeah,
the
but you know what?
Cuban.
I love it because she's authentic to where she's from, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And if you know
yeah,
Memphis people, then that's how they talk from certain
right.
areas of Memphis. So I respect it because when I go places and I don't hear it, but other people hear it and they be like, "Where you from, Dallas?" I can hear it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right. And then they be like, "What part of Dallas you from? Oak Cliff?" I don't care where you from in America. If
Yeah.
somebody asks you if you black and you from Dallas, you probably it's a high percentage that you from an area called Oak Cliff.
Oak Cliff. Oakwood or Oak Cliff?
Oak Cliff. I don't know about
Oak
no
Cliff,
Oak.
yeah.
You don't know about the
I
Oak.
I was
always get asked
to
where
say
I'm
Oakwood. I was like, hold on.
I always get asked where I'm from, and I'm born and raised in Cali.
Yeah, Oak Cliff is the
And they
Yeah,
spot.
always think I'm from somewhere
you
else.
for sure a Cali girl. Yes,
No, they
you
think I'm
are for
from
sure a
somewhere
Cali girl.
else, and I'm not sure why.
I don't
Mm,
know.
I don't
I
know.
still have my little Texas country accent. It's like dwindled down. Like I don't say no more. I actually say ear. But I mean, hey, you
The
That
can
comes.
hear
crazy
it
part
just a
is
little bit.
the people that said it all say the same place, which is crazy.
Calabasas or something.
No, East Coast, New York. They keep thinking I'm from the East Coast, and I don't sound like I'm from the East Coast.
Well, maybe
Maybe
because you
it's
got
not.
that attitude.
Maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's because of the way you look. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say that they may think you're like Puerto Rican or something like that from the way that your appearance. So
Maybe,
maybe that's what it is.
but it's literally every person is always the same exact place,
I
which
mean,
is crazy.
it's all right. We do need to reach our New York fans. I just want you to know that.
Okay.
I looked through my little you know how Facebook give you that a
It gives you
demographic list and tell you
demographic.
who this is. And I'm like, hold on, how now 30+% of people following me from New York.
I mean,
So
tell my nephew to spread it around the dorms up there. He in New York.
yeah. Hey, we still got to do the kid
This
show,
time.
the
We
Yeah,
do.
college
Glow
show. Yeah.
for
Yeah,
sure,
Glow. Yeah, Glow.
for sure.
She
All
was
right.
on Club Shay, so she's
Yeah,
fresh on the brain.
yeah. Dope interview.
Oh, okay. See, I'm
Nope. Yeah,
It's
you
all
got it.
right. It's all right. She
That's
just did
okay.
a whole episode. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
And
out the loop.
she said she can't be had by no man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, she got a game together, sound like it. And
Well,
with her music, she got her music. She's straight.
that's she's young too. So,
Right.
Yeah,
her outlook on things would definitely change as she matures
for
and
sure. That statement will
yeah.
change.
Yeah, because when you young and
Factamundo.
you young and got money, you don't really need, companionship and all that type of stuff. You just kind of running through things like a running back. But
Mm-hmm.
after a while, you get tired, you know what I'm saying? And you want to
Somebody
settle
gonna
down.
knock her up, in other words.
I don't know about all that,
You don't have
man.
to necessarily be knocking her up. I mean, it's just after a while you figure out all of that. I got this. I don't need nobody. Like it ain't about like needing that, but you do need companion. Like you do
Right.
need, having somebody there just to even share stuff with is, she gonna be a little lonely. So don't
Yeah.
change.
I mean, she gonna have to pick of the litter. You know what I'm saying? So she ain't really an ugly girl. She
She's
did
not.
talk about how she got her teeth fixed. Did you see the picture of her
Who
teeth,
don't now?
shark teeth before?
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
mean, all of them have something cosmetic and rightfully so.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
If you're an entertainer and you're gonna be in front of people
Right.
and you know what I'm
Have the
saying,
image
smiling
uploaded.
and talking to people. Yeah, your image is everything, right?
Right.
So you can't be smiling and talking in interviews and you got shark teeth.
Right. I agree.
Now this is now people. I'm not calling her teeth her old teeth shark teeth. This is her words.
Her words.
She
Yeah,
called
before
them shark teeth.
Yes, she
y'all think
did.
she be
And
be
she posted a
dragging.
picture of it too.
Baby Shark.
Shark. Oh, don't start that ringing in my head.
That make you want to dance, huh, Benji?
And just
Little kid songs.
Little kid songs. You know what I'm saying? You know, I got children.
Yeah, I just would say he's a granddad and he had the little one, so I'm pretty sure she's entertained by that song as well. So
you better
and she wants to stay over the house now, Ken. So I got to steal her for a weekend that's coming up. So
yeah, that's dope. That is dope, man. I'm happy to see my guy in his grandfather way.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. It's dope, man.
Papa, number one. I love it when they call me big. No, I'm just messing. Yeah, but yeah.
That's
so
what Diddy said.
We're in that. We're in that whole. I love the kids space. Before it was get them out of here.
You're joking now when you say Diddy.
No,
you can't be joking on that. Yeah.
Now I was coughing for something else, but that's okay. y'all missed the moment. Y'all missed the moment.
They did miss the moment.
I mean, but, see, Ken at that space now where he almost an empty nester. He close.
Yeah, but I ain't think about that. That's 5+ years away, so that don't even register right now.
It comes quick, brother. Trust me.
That's what Diddy said.
Get up.
Meek Mill. Oh man, you know what? It's and see, this is the bad part about things is in this world, and we're gonna talk about Diddy at length. We're gonna talk about Glorilla at length, but these things, it lets you know that there's nothing in this world that's not being recorded. So when you go out in public, you have to assume that somebody has a camera.
That is facts. From the old church mother dancing at church to Pops dancing at church, you know what I'm saying? They holy shout. Everything is recordable now. So
and church is online too. So if you fall asleep in church and the pastor smacks you on your head to wake you up during service, and they show that on the live feed, we see it. We see it out here.
It's live. Smacking people in the head.
Yeah. There's footage of a pastor. He's he came out of the pulpit and he's like, yeah, sometimes in this life, people will sleep on you. Wake up and hit that dude on the head.
Right on the head. Yeah.
Oh man, the dude woke up. You know how when you somebody wake you up, you in another dimension. You looking around, everybody's cracking up. Like that was an amazing moment. I'm like, dude, how you go to sleep that hard in church?
Hey man, sometimes when you're partying the night before, you know what I'm saying?
No.
And you got one of them grandmamas that make you go to church. I don't care if you got an hour, 2 hours of sleep. You go in the service.
Nah, bro, this is a grown man. This was a grown man who appeared to be in his 30s at least, and he sleep in church. Well, you know what? I look at it on the bright side. At least he went.
He did.
At least he made the effort.
Shout out to that brother for going to church. He didn't know he was gonna get slapped that day. But he went.
But I bet you he gonna make sure he awake. Red Bull or whatever he got to do.
Facts. Oh, and have y'all seen this other video of a pastor? He was live doing his live stream, and a guy walks up and was like, he said something to him. He said, "Hey, pastor," and pastor looked at him like, "Hey," and then the dude said,
Stole off
on pastor, man.
Yeah,
I was like, "What?
Swung on your boy?
What did you do to have this gentleman come into your pulpit and steal on you? Like, what as a pastor? What did you do?"
And it was something he couldn't let go of. Like he had to come and handle his business.
Right. Like, I mean, listen, you could have, you know what I'm saying? You probably owed that man some money. Y'all was probably pastors. I don't know, man. They be shooting dice. They be playing pool. You know what I'm saying? Like they be on the golf course. You know what I'm saying?
That man said he wanted his investment back. He put his tithes in the church. He didn't get the blessings he think he deserves, so he wanted his money back.
I want my money. You lost in a friendly game of dominoes, and you didn't want to pay me, and I had to come see about you.
That man, he stole on the pastor on live stream, bruh. Like, I mean, how do you explain that to your congregation after that? Right.
What you say in today's time is, church, although this happened, we are about to go viral. So make sure y'all have everything together, because the following is going up on social media for
That
sure.
man said got stole on and said the devil is busy. That's what he said when he came back to the mic.
That's what I thought of in my head. If
devil
I had
is
to swing
busy.
it, I would have been like, see, the devil he be working.
The
He
devil
will
was
take
working
over
on the
you.
pastor that the days before. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, hey, listen, man. You know, folks be wild. I've heard some interesting stories. I know 2 brothers in ministry who are caught on many occasions fighting on the golf course and all types of stuff. You know, stuff happens.
Well, my thing is, here's my thing when it comes to preachers. Now, I ain't you know, hey, you can take this with a grain of salt, but when they outside the pulpit, they just men, right? They just regular men out in the street. So Pastor gonna have some beef with people. He gonna be upset. He got real emotions. Now he's supposed to be a little bit more under control because of the things that he knows, but he's still a man. So when he out in the street, that don't mean y'all try to test these pastors, these preachers and stuff, because some of them ain't all the way saved yet.
And some of them come from the streets.
Oh yeah,
they ain't playing with y'all.
Oh yeah,
Their old lady is still their old lady, and they will give you a 2-piece and a biscuit over their old lady.
Pray for you.
Yes, and I'm still saved.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine approaching the pastor about some beef and he knocks you out and you wake up and he's praying on you, like he's literally over you with oil on his hands, praying for you to wake up. I mean,
because that's the case. Wake him up, hey, brother Deacon. Wake him up and let's make sure he all right.
Get him on back to his seat.
Pastor, did you punch me? No, brother, you were slain in the spirit.
Yeah,
that is a fact. Yeah. Long as it ain't on live stream, somebody caught it.
I mean, at that point,
you can only do that at smaller churches, y'all, with no live streaming. Pastors don't be out there fighting your congregation.
Yes,
you're supposed to fight for them, not fight them.
I mean,
right.
I mean, folks be coming in with some wild ideas, though. You know what I'm saying? You know, so I mean, hey.
All right, so this episode 156, we call this block is hot because literally the block of social media is hot right now with a lot of crazy topics. So we like to do these episodes every now and again because they're fun. Let's just keep it 100. Like they're fun. We can cut up and we can talk to you all and be super interactive with the audience because a lot of the stuff we talk about, y'all talking about it too. So we want to be able to, get y'all opinion on this stuff and talk about it. So the first thing we want to talk about today, though, before we get started, we didn't check on our people. So let's check on our people. Trisha Michelle, the lady of the house. How are you doing today, ma'am?
Forehead.
I'm good. I'm giving it to God.
Okay.
Yes.
And the strength's gonna lead me through it. So
yes, ma'am. Indeed, we got you. We got you, definitely. All right.
I love to hear that.
That for sure. Benji Banks, the man, the brand. What's going on with you, man? I see you got your muscles out. You know what I'm saying? Talk to the people.
You know what I'm saying? Brother been in the gym a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
It is Taco Tuesday, so
you know what I'm saying? Taco Tuesday.
How many days you been in? Don't be one of those that was in the gym for 2 hours today, day one.
No. I'm a 30-minute gym workout guy.
But
now if I'm going in the gym and I'm trying to like hit a goal, like I'm gonna keep trying it until I can't. But for the most part, go in, hit the sauna, get warmed up, get your row in, get your little in, get in and get out, do a little running. I ain't in there all day. Now, if I go in there boxing and I'm just trying to hit the bag, work some tension out, give me, I might be in there 45 minutes or to an hour because you got to rest, man.
Yeah.
Boxing workouts are a beast, man.
Like, of course. But is this day one?
Yeah, well, I only went once.
What did I just say? What did I just say? He's one of those that do a couple sets in day one, and then he out there like, "Yep, I see it. Y'all see it?" Like,
I mean, nah, like you know what I'm saying. My the lady of the house, she's a gym lady, so Should be, let's go to the gym. We're going to actually right after the show.
This dude is day one with the pecs out.
Oh man, you know what? I have literally seen someone come in the gym, do like 2 sets, take a picture on the equipment, and leave. Literally.
Hey man, listen. The gym is a funny place. You see people, man, in there from all nationality, all races, and they be flexing in the mirror, bro. Like they ain't got nothing going on, and they just be up in there, like. And then they'll take their pictures, they'll snap, and you know they're sending it to their boot thing. Depends on, you know what I'm saying, the side of the, you got
that one that came in and did 2 reps and left. He was sending that as proof, so he could go to where he really needed to go.
Yes.
No, actually, that was a woman.
Oh wow.
Well, hey,
yeah.
So that's what they were doing.
I'm gonna tell you the funniest thing. I went in the sauna and I saw a brother. I kid you not, and I wish I had my phone in there when I went in. This brother came in fully dressed, hat on, dreads, shirt, shoes, socks, the whole 9, everything, sitting in the sauna watching the Laker game. And the first thing that came to my mind was, this brother hiding from somebody. Like, how you come in the sauna like that? Camo pants, the whole 9, everything.
Well, maybe I'm always gonna look on the bright side. Maybe it's a consistency thing, right? Because we had a guy that used to work out at the gym at work, and you could tell the days he forgot his workout clothes because he would literally still go to the gym and work out in his shirt and tie. He would take the tie off, but he would have on his shirt and his slacks from that day, and he would still do his workout. So I had to give him props one day. I had to say, man, I noticed you come in here and you still work out with your slacks and your shirt on, because I ain't gonna lie to you. It was some days where I just bounced because I forgot my gym stuff, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna work out in my
regular clothes.
Yeah, and my slacks and stuff, man. I'm finna go home. But that dude was consistent. So, and you could tell too, because over the years and even over the pandemic, he was consistent. So now that we can go back to the building a little bit, and you see people. When I saw him, he had lost a lot of weight, dog. Like, he looked really good.
I can dig that, but when you hitting the sauna and you in there 10, 15 minutes, you sweating like you out, you know what I'm saying? Like you, so something up.
Nah,
you're gonna be sweating like a mug.
He was going in the sauna too.
Well, I mean, there's actually today, speaking of things people wear to the gym, Lenny Kravitz was in the gym today. Footage was posted in his leather pants and his sheer see-through shirt. He was really working out and doing more. He was doing the sit-ups from, like that with the bar in his hand,
like the incline.
And was really like doing it with the bar, and probably 245 on it, 225s. I don't know. He was working his little self out, but he had his leather pants on.
Shout out to Lenny Kravitz, man. Lenny Kravitz came to Texas a few weeks ago, and he came to Buc-ee's. Right, and he put it on his social media platforms. And anybody who's been to Texas, some places in the South, I forgot what other states they have Buc-ee's, but I know they have a bunch in Texas. If you know about Buc-ee's, then you know what I'm talking about. It's a must stop. When you come through Texas, you got to go by Buc-ee's. Huge gas station / shopping mart. They sell everything. They sell food. They sell gifts and items and candy and drinks and all kinds of weird stuff. And they had like 100 gas station pumps, literally like 100 of them. Yeah, it's crazy.
Buc-ee's out next time I swing.
It's crazy. Yeah. We'll have to ride out there. There's not one really in the Dallas area yet. They're kind of like on the outskirts of Dallas. So it's a little bit of a ride for people who live in the Dallas area. But when you headed out down 35 or 20 or I-20 or something like that, like you're gonna run into Buc-ee's. So he had this whole thing. He went to Buc-ee's.
I bet y'all the folks be up there.
Hey, yeah, and he had on leather pants and a shirt.
Look, them leather pants is gonna be on.
Prancing through Buc-ee's. I'm like, really, dog? This how you roll it? All right, Lenny.
You know what I'm saying? Prince used to hoop in you know what I'm saying, blouses. So you know what I'm saying.
Lenny is channeling Prince, definitely. He's channeling Prince, definitely. Because he's a little fella that likes to wear, tight pants and stuff. Like, all right, bro, if that's what you want to do, you know, it's working for you because you pulling chicks still, which is amazing.
Still.
But I mean, hey, you know,
it ain't hard to pull these chicks out here, bro. Come on, man.
all right, man. All right. So let's get into some of these topics, man. The first topic that we want to talk about, man, is obviously yesterday. This is what we was looking for. You know what I'm saying? The eclipse. You know what I'm saying? It was such a big news thing. It was all over the place. I was sitting here during the time when it started. I wanted the area where I'm at. I don't know if you all have it out there in California, but they play tornado sirens or when y'all have a earthquake or something, they play sirens.
No,
we don't
so
get
here,
we just feel it and that's it.
So here we have sirens. So when they spot a tornado or something extreme, they play the sirens. I wanted them to play the sirens as the eclipse was happening.
is it like
so people start freaking out.
No, it really goes off.
That's the purge siren.
It's kind of it's not the purge siren per se, but it's something similar. So I know when people hear it, though, they freak out generally, and to have it, you know, done during the time the eclipse is happening, boy, people would have been freaking out because, you know, people's already talking about the eclipse. The eclipse is going to be part of the rapture and all kinds of madness.
You know how that goes.
You know, listen, man, people will any money grab that they can, especially to religious folk, because it's so easy to, you know, kind of fool religious folk because they believe almost anything. They don't read, you know, their Bible. So a lot of them were saying this is the rapture. I'm like, what? Like, hold on. We ain't even got to the abomination of the desolation, which is in Matthew 24. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, help, Lord. That's all I can say.
I don't know nothing about the abominations and the desolations, but
abomination.
I do know we was outside yesterday like this.
That boy now ugly hair boy say you ready for the eclipse? You ready for the eclipse? What?
Yeah, what that bitch at?
Hey, that boy eclipse.
Not in the swimming goggles.
Your boy got some swimming goggles on. Come on, man.
Hey, man. Boys was looking last minute trying to figure out where they could get, you know what I'm saying, them glasses from stuff, man. It's like, bro, it's too late. It's too late. I seen some people outside with regular shades on. I'm like, y'all gonna be blind. Y'all gonna be blind.
Cats don't care. Cats don't care. They gonna be blind. They be mad in the mug. We're gonna have to hit up Amber because she gonna need Glitz Optical. We're gonna need them for this.
For real, bro. Jesus. The boys gonna be out here looking like Stevie Wonder.
Hey, they might get a check for going blind though.
They don't get no check. They told you don't look at it.
How did you go blind, sir? I mean, I don't know. It just something happened. I mean, you know, Negroes be lying on their paperwork, so I'm just saying.
When in doubt, just blame Diddy. Diddy did it.
Yes,
he blinded. He blinded you.
Yeah, no Diddy.
Yeah.
But the swimwear goggles, though. Come on now.
Hey, man, by any means, you know.
They was trying to be a part of history.
Facts.
They
want to say I seen it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how it go. I seen it.
Some people gonna text the son's gangster though to see if it's really gonna turn you blind. You know.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't believe it because I ain't gonna lie to you. I have great vision now. It's still at 44 years of age. I still have 20/20 vision, and I used to look into the sun a lot. I used to look straight into the sun till it turned into that little blue dot in the sky. I used to look directly into it.
Do that?
So, I don't know.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah, just being weird as a kid. Used to just do that. Especially when we were in the car.
There just like
usually when we were in the car, because you know we were kids, we didn't have electronic devices and stuff in the car, so you had to figure out stuff to do on road trips, and you was bored, so you just look out the window.
You know what I'm saying? You get that little gaze, you get that little fog a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then feel like you just had a concussion. Yeah, I did it many times. Yes. And feel like you got a concussion. And then
y'all related, so.
Hey man, listen.
Anybody else in the comments? Y'all do this?
I'm willing to bet most of the boys done looked up at the sun.
And that's my next go to was gonna
at least one.
It's gotta be me.
Yes.
At least one.
We've done it. I've done it many a times. I'm sorry. And I got 20/20 vision. So
see, maybe it helped our eyes.
Maybe,
you know what I'm saying?
Maybe I should have been staring because I wear glasses.
See,
I mean,
see, maybe you should have looked directly
you
into
should
the
have been
sun.
following.
I'm not gonna go based off of.
Maybe it's a clever ploy by the optical industry to get you to buy glasses and tell you not to look in the sun when you're supposed to. See?
And the eclipse definitely made y'all spend y'all money on glasses and going on because y'all went out and did it. 6.8 billion or something like that was made off of the eclipse.
That's crazy. But hey, get your money, people. If you was able to make some money off of it, get it.
Consumer, that is insane. Yes. A natural occurring event, they made that much money.
Yes, across the world. This is a money grab. You got to get your money in. This is part of it. But I would encourage you, Patricia, one of these old days. Now, the Texas sun is different than California sun. I just want you to know that.
No, you better not do it now because we don't have no ozone.
I'm not gonna look at the sun.
We don't have an ozone now, so
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you probably will go blind. You're gonna burn your retina. Yeah, you probably gonna burn your retina now.
Hey, get you some swim goggles, like my boy in the video.
Nah. Oh, I'm good. I'll let the sun be. I don't want nothing to do with it.
All right, so check this out. I ran across another crazy story, man, and it cracked me up. So I have to tell y'all about this guy, right? This guy right here, he's at the Urology Health Surgery Center. So you already know if you're an adult and you're a man, you probably know where he's at, and you probably know why he's there. Urology Health, that's men's, you know what I'm saying, prostate. Reproductive. Nah, he actually went there. Justin Allen went there to get a vasectomy, right? He just had his second child. They're not interested. I think he got a little girl and a little boy, so he's not interested in having any more kids.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So he went and got the vasectomy. And while he's having the vasectomy, guess what happens? A freaking earthquake happens. A freaking earthquake happens while he's in the middle of the vasectomy.
Wow.
So he said he thought it was like a train or something like that. Like because when you get a vasectomy,
yes,
they don't put you to sleep. They don't put you to sleep. Like
because it's like, a snip, it's quick.
Yeah, you're coherent. You're there. You know they numb it up and do all this stuff, right. And then they do the procedure. But he's just feeling everything's shaking. And good thing about it is with this type of surgery, as long as the doctor sews everything back up, if he snips one thing, wrong here or there, you get it cut off anyway. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, so either way, he can't have kids anymore, and it's okay because the doctor was able to finish the procedure. But yeah, he did make a little extra snip, but it's okay because I
thought something, you know what I'm saying, may have happened to your boy. Like,
so now his thing is so back like this.
No. When you get a vasectomy, they cut. You know what I'm saying?
They cut the
vasculature that goes.
I know what they do cut, but they real close to the other part. I just wondered if
yes, they are.
Nah, if they cut that, then you got a big problem. So
that's what I was wondering if that was the outcome.
No.
I was cut that. While you was telling the story, I was praying, even though it's past event. I was like, I hope my man didn't get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought he got a.
Nah, he good now.
I thought he had a little speed bump now.
Nah, well, he can't do nothing for a few weeks anyway. Right now, anyway. Because you know what I'm saying, it's got
it's a process you got to go through. You got to heal. You gotta have like so many specimens. You gotta finish off in the cup to make sure that they test it, and and then you got to go through so many cycles to make sure everything is healed before you test out the equipment. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but yeah, that was wild, man, and that's why I asked y'all like in the California and different areas they have earthquakes. In Texas, you don't have to worry about that. But if you have an earthquake in Texas, then you might be talking about abominations and all that other stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
You might be talking about some end of times. You might be talking about some end of times type stuff if they have an earthquake in Texas. But yeah, that was crazy, man. Can you imagine going to the hospital, having a procedure and then something crazy like that happens?
An earthquake.
Insane.
While you getting your thing done.
Yeah.
That's I'm sure all brothers felt for him in that moment when he told that story. I'm sure we had like a pause. I'm sure.
Yeah. And speaking of getting your balls cut off, tax deadline is right up the street here. It's right around the corner. So it ain't nothing funny about this one. Just wanted to remind y'all, you know what I'm saying, that please pay your taxes, get your stuff in order, get you some help. You got what about a week now that you got, and then you gotta make sure this stuff good. Look, listen, every year I pull out all my paperwork and everything. I do my own taxes. I've been doing my own taxes for a while, and with the TurboTax software. And if you got a small business, you got deductions and things like that, and they got software. It's pretty easy. As long as you put your receipts and your paperwork. Yeah.
You could chat GPT that joint right now.
Yeah.
With the TurboTax stuff.
I don't know about no chat GPT, but I'm gonna go ahead and do mine myself, because if it's
for your deductions, if you got businesses and all that stuff, a lot of that stuff.
Imagine you use Chat GPT and then something go wrong, and then they come after you, and you be like, "Say, man, Chat GPT told me that I could deduct this." You and Chat GPT gonna be in the jail.
It'll be a struggle if you claiming stuff you shouldn't have been claiming. But for the most part, you get what I'm saying. Like, if you've been in it for a while, there's specific things you can and can't claim. Your gas mileage. If you own a business, you can write off the lights and the expenses you paid. You can pay your kids if you got a business. The IRS allows up to like $7,000, I believe. You can pay your kids, all that type of stuff. So you should know all of this stuff by now. But I mean, folks still be trying to get over.
Don't be out here claiming stuff that don't belong to you, like somebody else's kids. Like, like you can do that if you can do that outside of your taxes. Like, you can claim somebody else's kid, but don't claim it on your taxes. Because guess what? We had a situation where somebody utilized one of my kids' social security numbers years ago, and I'm like, "Say, man, hold up." You know what I'm saying?
Happened to me too.
Like we're gonna have to rectify this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute, is it mine? Hold up, because should nobody else had this information.
Right.
You know
it happened to me too. And it's a shocker when you go in there and somebody done claimed your kid already. You're like, what? But hey, you got to understand, some people are full-time scammers out here, man. They ain't trying to work.
Yeah.
They're full-time scammers.
Yeah, big time scammers. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, y'all take care of your taxes, man. We don't want to see nobody go to jail or have to, now some of you all, I understand you have to pay taxes. You have to pay, you owe. So you're dragging your feet and you're going to do it at the last minute. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, do what you got to do. We want y'all to, be prosperous out here in these streets.
Don't remind me. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not a fun time. You get taxed. I get taxed when I go in the grocery store. You're charging me for water?
You get taxed on top of tax.
Things that God gave us for free. You're charging me for apples.
You sound like what's his name?
Okay, Orlando Brown.
Right, Orlando Brown for sure.
But he owns something, like.
But he is. I'm not even gonna lie. Like he's telling the truth.
And see, this is the crazy part, right? You're charging us for produce, and then if we have our own yards, then you tell us we can't grow certain stuff legally in our own yards.
Yes.
But you'll charge us for it, and you'll tax us for it.
Yeah, they want to make sure that you can't produce your own version of it. So that they can have it.
Ain't that wild?
Grapes.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, back in Texas, we ain't growing grapes. Not out here. You gotta look if you're trying to.
Burn in hell when I'm through with you. Your boy dumb.
Y'all, it's the sleeves. It's the sleeves. He doesn't have sleeves on today.
He's missing a lot.
No Diddy.
He's special. Okay.
All right. So, speaking of getting money or going to jail, a lot of us are fans of the show BMF, right?
Mm-hmm.
BMF is a good show, great show. You know, we've all heard the
Absolutely.
stories about Meech and about Southwest T, his brother, and 50 Cent again is doing an amazing job with the show and
Okay.
all his shows, but especially this show. I love the storyline.
Mm.
But listen, if you've been watching this season, you know there's one character that is a part of this show that is totally unnecessary for the storyline. It's one of the it's one of the weirdest interjections of characters that I think I've ever seen on a show that's at a height like this, right? This
Right.
show is at its height. This show is probably, one of the top shows on the network, and you stick this character and make them a main character on the
what's up with that
show.
green?
Now that wig is horrible.
Bro,
I mean, I
wig,
think they get the bad wig from Tyler Perry. It gives us something to talk about at
the
this
wig,
point.
the makeup, the glasses, the gold teeth.
She a stud?
She's a
Well,
stud.
clearly.
Her name is Henrietta, short for Henrietta, but they call her Henry, right, on the show.
Wow.
And
Okay.
actually, the actress that plays her is Ren King, and she's been on a lot of other stuff. Very dope actress, but
Chocolate sister,
nothing against Ren King at all, right? Because she has done great work on other stuff.
Yeah.
But this show, she's just doing what they paid her to do. And somebody signed off on what she's doing and put it out there to the masses, and the character just don't go over well. There's nothing redeemable about the character in my estimation. Y'all let me know in the comments if anybody out there likes the Henry character on BMF, but I have not heard one person that says, yo, I dig that character.
I gotta check it out. I haven't
watched
seen
this season, but I do know that is the main thing that I have seen from this season is their dislike for this character.
Trash.
No. Hold on. What is the dislike? Is it because she's a stud, or is it how
they said it was a
acting?
pointless role? They do not understand why this was included.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't really fit the storyline in my estimation. Now, the BMF story is being told because there are, a lot of elements of it that are actually based on truth, right?
Yes.
So they just change the names up and things like that because it's entertainment factor. But whether this character was a real character or not, I'm not for certain. But
I want to know if it was a real character.
Yeah, if she was, you could have done a better job of, something like
portraying her right.
You could have made her look better than that. Like the character looks outlandish, right?
Right.
And I mean,
is it because she's in film and you're giving somebody? Because I don't know the original chick. You're just giving her a role to play, just to insert her in there. You get what I'm saying? Like, is that what it feels like? That she just
insert.
No Diddy, all right?
Yeah, hey, man. And the crazy part about it is I say insert because there's a scene that was totally unnecessary where she is standing around in the room with a strap-on in the room, and it's like I understand what y'all are doing. I understand what y'all are leading up to. And I guess it's like, well, if you know a lot of the shows that, that 50 does, it's like a deal in there where everybody has a sex scene. Pretty much everybody on the show has a sex scene. And Henry's no exception. Like she had a sex scene with a chick and she had a prosthetic and they showed the prosthetic and they showed her walking around with it. And I was just like, all right, this is
why?
What does this have to do with the storyline?
I think it's changed from how shows used to have the token black person. They gotta have that black person in there to be inclusive. Now it's you gotta include some form of the LGBTQ in your show, or else you can get called out from not being inclusive. I think that's really
I would assume that's true. And if anything, it's backed by the government, that government money will make you,
Because if you're just there and your role seems so weird, that is the only thing that would make sense to me. They just had to throw you in there so they don't get sued.
I mean, but you got to understand, sometimes obnoxious roles kind of help. You know what I'm saying? Push the storyline along.
LGBTQ community themselves is probably watching the show like, what?
Yeah,
we gotta look that up. We gotta
it
look
could
that
backfire
up.
too, because you could be trying to be inclusive and it could backfire because it could be not received well from the community that you're actually trying to support or trying
It
to
could
put
come
out
off
there.
like you're doing too much.
Yeah, well,
Like,
like it might seem like a bad representative of them, right?
yeah,
For them, so they might look at that and be like, "Nah, that's trash, dog.
they
Like
they
that's not how
they
we rock."
show up. I mean, it's not like that
Well,
don't happen in their community.
Hey man,
well,
listen. She walked around with a strap on, so
That's the thing. Some of them things, some of them do.
I know Diddy. All right.
My bad. Some of them really do walk around with that thing on them.
Hold
yeah,
on.
yeah, no, yeah, no,
They
yeah.
really do walk around with that thing on them.
I've seen one here in Dallas, Texas. I was in CVS store, and there was one in CVS who was walking around with gray sweatpants on. Clearly had a strap on. And like it was just so odd in the store because everybody was kind of like, you heard, you're in a place, something's going on because you hear a bunch of
A little chatter.
yeah. So people was like, say, look. And I'm like, what are we looking at? And I turn around, I was like,
And
oh
then you
man,
look, you like,
y'all trying
I
to show
know
me
you
that
lying.
dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see that dude gray sweatpants. They was like, that's not a dude, that's a chick. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And she probably had the stroll and everything too. She's holding the sweat.
The whole bop.
Little one hand, little.
Yeah,
Hey,
like the
man,
stud that
listen.
approached Benji. You know what I'm saying? She had that thing on.
Oh,
She might have had that thing on her.
I don't know.
Vibe.
I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't looking down that far. But
yeah.
Tell us.
that's trouble, man. That's trouble, man. I feel. Hey, I'll say this though. Studs, if you're listening, if you're watching this show, you get what I'm saying? We got love for y'all on this show. We ain't got no problems with y'all. We ain't got no beef with y'all.
What they do is they
we ain't
business.
trying to, you know what I'm saying? What you do is your business. I just want to know, what will possess you? Does it make you feel manly to walk around like with your strap on and gray sweatpants, or are you just doing it for social media?
They definitely are not doing it for social media.
Mm.
They don't want to feel manly because they don't want to be a man. That's the one thing. Like, they don't want to be a man, which is a different concept to grasp.
Right.
So you would have to really get into the mind of a stud and really figure that part out. I don't know.
We still got to have a stud on the show. I still think we should have a stud in the stem on the show. We got to make that show happen.
She's doing it so she can media. You said for social media so she can media.
No, okay. No Diddy.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Hey,
no
I mean, be yourself.
There's probably
you can't get no diseases from it. You ain't passing out no diseases or none of that with your strap on.
No, they're not.
So
there's probably a female out there.
Hope she cleans it. Hope she cleans it.
I mean,
oh God. Okay.
They clean it. Hope they clean it.
I mean, I would hope so.
That she can still choose to be called she.
I don't know.
Do you shower with it on?
I don't know. Ask her.
Nah, because if you shower with it on, then how they gonna clean what's under it? You still gotta clean that.
I don't even know how it works. How you put it on? So I don't know.
Slide it out the way real quick and then put it back.
I don't know. Well, clearly Henry had one on, so you know what I'm saying. It you could see how they would put it on. It looked like kind of like drawers almost with a hole in the front with an attachment.
What is the world coming to?
That's not new, Benji. That is not new.
I mean, it's new to me because I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I don't venture out too far into everybody's world. I like my space. But because one hit on me, and then I did date a STEM.
And look.
STEM is the girl, right?
Yes,
she's the girl.
Well, she's like a hybrid.
I just think it's bisexual.
It's like a hybrid. It's more. It comes off more of like a pretty tomboy. That's if I could describe it.
Ken knows who I'm talking about. Like yeah.
No Diddy. So, I don't know.
No Diddy. No. But what I'm saying is that you get what I'm saying. Like, I never really asked all of those questions, but now when we talk about it, it's like, yo, there's some questions I should have asked. Like how do you shower?
Oh, the STEM.
The STEM girl.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: if you start asking a bunch of questions, they're gonna think you're interested. So I would be very careful
Well,
with
no,
asking a
that's
bunch of
not always
questions.
what happens.
I just want to have an
Sometimes they're
interview with
really
you, dig into your
annoyed.
brain.
Sometimes
Well,
they're annoyed,
that
and
too,
sometimes they don't
but
mind.
yeah, sometimes they don't mind, but sometimes they might think you're interested in finding out. So,
Then they
I
might be like, "Well,
mean,
let me strap up and Diddy you."
No,
oh
we ain't playing them
wow,
kind of games.
no
You can
Diddy,
catch you can catch a 2-piece.
They
oh
said you
Diddy,
can too.
oh. Oh, hold on. It's a perfect segue. Perfect segue time. Catching a 2-piece, right? What is going on with this fight, right? Now, when I originally heard
Man,
of
Big
Jake
time
Paul
money.
and
Big
Mike
time
Tyson
money.
fighting, I was like, all right, so what are we doing here now? Because I
I'm
mean,
not gonna lie.
Tyson went broke.
I was disappointed in the fact that he picked up the fight. Like he said yes.
I
I'm not, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because
I
if
know
you look at the
business.
stipulations in it, like Tyson can't really like beat him down. They got like 8 boxing rules in there that
No, I
aren't really
know
like
that.
part of boxing. Like Tyson can't like go in and just bang, 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 like go at him like that. You get what I'm
It's a
saying?
structured
It's
they
a
said
structured
micromanaged
fight.
Jake
boxing
Paul gonna
fight.
have on headgear too.
They did say that,
Yeah,
but my
it's
thing
a
is
total
the
entertainment.
disappointment stems for me was for Tyson to even associate himself with that. Like it's just,
Patricia, the money is gonna
I
be
know,
bananas.
but the money.
Yeah,
Tyson,
and
it's hard for me to say Tyson don't need the money because I don't think he does because his
no,
new brand, the
I'm
way he
I'm sure he
rebranded
doesn't.
himself. Yeah, the
The
way
the
he
the
rebranded himself, from what I
the
understand,
companies that he owned,
right?
Yeah,
He's made like
the
400 million
yeah, the
as the
weed
new
companies and
right,
the other shrooms and all this other stuff he
right.
yeah,
owns, along with the podcast, he's making plenty of money off of
right,
these, opportunities. So he really doesn't need the money, but I
right.
think, like anybody who's an athlete, you want to take advantage of opportunities to make money, especially a large purse like this. This is going to
Right.
be probably he made a lot of money in his career, but you're talking about, decades ago. Now this money that he's gonna make off of this fight is bananas,
Yeah,
and it's going.
it's
I
gonna be
would
big.
venture to say he's probably gonna make about 40 million off this fight.
It's a lot. It's a
Mhm.
lot of money.
Just him
So,
alone.
yeah, and you can't, like I said, to me, and unless he gets knocked out or something crazy, which I
Now
highly doubt.
that would
Like,
be crazy if that happens in this fight.
yeah,
Of
now
course,
that's the
it
only
would be
thing
a
that could.
total sale. It's not gonna happen,
Yeah,
but
well,
it'd be a total sale. But I
that's the
mean,
only thing I think that could tarnish like his legacy, more than it already is as far as a
for
boxer.
30, 40 million, I mean, I at this point, you don't heard everything from Mike Tyson. This is like his second, third, fourth. This is like Bobby Brown, bro. It's like the dudes just go through stuff, crazy,
I
crazy,
don't know
crazy.
about Bobby Brown. That's extreme. That's extreme, bro.
They
Bobby
used to
Brown
hang
is
out together,
extreme.
bro. So they was wild.
But Bobby Brown is TD Jakes now, bro. So
Oh, that
like
is a
it
fact. That is
it's
a fact.
it, they
He got a
trended in
stent in his
different
heart and
areas.
everything.
They trended in different ways, man. And
I
to
agree.
be quite honest with you, I'm really surprised Bobby's still alive. Nothing against Bobby.
I
You know what I'm
agree.
saying? We love Bobby Brown, but the stuff that he went through in his life, it's like, man, you're still around. So it's a blessing, man, for him to still be alive and still be out here, busting moves and dancing a little bit on stage when he can.
That is a fact.
He can keep up because, man, that dude been through some stuff in his life, boy.
That is a fact. You see him on stage supposedly, and he looked like he about to fall over. But
And
I mean, hey,
you see that picture of him when he was a kid. He looked rough as a 6-year-old. So if you look like you already been through hell as a 6-year-old, the
and
rest
now
of
you're
life is
coming back.
easy. The rest of
That
life
is
is
a fact.
easy, right?
That's why I think the same thing with Mike Tyson. It's like he done been through kind of
Yeah,
everything, man. So
terrible
it's
stuff.
like if I
Terrible
can
stuff.
make 30, 40 million off of this fight, and it
Easy
ain't really a fight, if I'm being honest. Like it's a
sparring.
fight, but it's like sparring. It's
Yeah,
gonna be like
it's glorified sparring.
Jake Paul is glorifying sparring. And that's really all he's doing. But he's got such a huge backing that you can pay a fighter. Boxers don't make a lot of money unless you're at the top. You can pay these dudes a couple mil, and that's the most money they've ever made in boxing. They don't got their brains beat out in sparring, and it's like, why wouldn't I take it?
And see, that's why I was trying to explain to people. That's why he doesn't want to fight a real fighter,
right?
Because the real fighters are not going to bring the draw, are not going to bring the money that a fight with some of these bigger names would bring, right? So I think once he gets a little bit better at the sport, you might see him start to really fight like some real fighters.
A real fighter, right?
But right now, no, because he's still getting
he's still getting his training and his sparring in. That's just basically, this is basically him capitalizing off of a hot market that knows boxers don't get a ton of money unless you're at the top. They don't get a ton of money. And he's got this huge following. His sponsors pretty much pay for everything. This dude walks in the event making money. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna spar this dude. And the stadiums be packed out.
Yeah, sold out. And just
they coming to Texas with this one, the Jared World.
So, are they?
Yeah, so Jared will be packed. I'm pretty sure there will be a lot of events in the city of Dallas leading up to it.
Right.
So it's gonna be huge for the city, and I'm definitely gonna stay away from that area where it is because it's gonna be packed. It's gonna be crazy out there.
Right.
And it's gonna be. I'm gonna check it out though. I'm gonna check it out.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm actually gonna watch it.
I mean, of course.
It's entertainment. It's Tyson. It's Tyson.
Facts.
We ain't gonna get to see Tyson no more in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be fun. No. I honestly, because I hear the events are always the super live. Like I wouldn't mind actually pulling up to one. I don't know where, what city, what state, whatever, but I hear that they live, and I've been to a live boxing, and that's dope, man. I can't lie. So I would want to pull up one day. We'll see.
Yeah. So well, shout out to Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. We really ready to see that fight. We're gonna stay in the sports lane just a little bit. We'll talk about a few other things before we get to the Cole and Kendrick. We're gonna talk about Diddy, and then we got some questions for y'all at the end of the show that we want to talk about, because these questions are some doozies, right? That we saw on our timeline, and Benji brought it to my attention. So we definitely want to talk about these scenarios, because there's gonna be some arguments going on because of these scenarios, I guarantee you. So, but I saw this on my timeline, and we're gonna talk about this briefly right now. The conversation has come up again of Dwight Howard not being Hall of Fame and not making the NBA top 75. You're talking about a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, averaged a double for what, 7-8 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best defenders that the game has ever seen. Probably top 5. I would venture to say top 5 defenders the game has ever seen. But when it came to the NBA top 75, and still to this day, like Hall of Fame consideration, they said that he ain't even close. But you give, NBA 75 to Dame Lillard and Anthony Davis, right? So it's kind of like, what are we doing? Like, this dude has the accolades and the stats. So if he got the accolades and stats, what else does he need to be able to get high on the list?
Be liked by the writers. That's really all it is. He had to have rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, because you know what it feels like? It feels like the TO thing. Had to rub a lot of writers, sports people, whatever, the wrong way for them to even come with that blasphemy. Because that dude was a beast, bro. Like, he was a beast.
Yeah, he was a beast, and he was a beast for a considerable amount of time. So I'm just and see, it's situations like that when people start talking about different NBA players and talk about stats and talk about other accolades, I'm like, you can't talk about that stuff and then not give this man accolades at the end of his career that are similar to other guys that you have already put in the Hall of Fame. Right. If his numbers are similar or better, then what's your argument for him not being there?
Yeah, it's got to do with some type of politicking somewhere up in there. It ain't got nothing to do with him.
Popularity, bro.
Popularity. So, yeah, it ain't him.
And that's crazy. And that's crazy that we've come that far in the game to, be looking at what people do in their personal lives and stuff like that personally, possibly that would hinder them from getting in the Hall of Fame. And the Hall of Fame is supposed to be about what you did on the court, what you did to affect the game, basketball, football, or whatever Hall of Fame we're talking. So, that kind of rubs me the wrong way. So hopefully, eventually, that they'll come around and he'll get an opportunity and get on those Hall of Fame lists, because I think he deserves it.
That is a fact. I agree. And no reason why it shouldn't be in, to be honest. So
yep. And speaking of Hall of Fame accolades, this guy is headed to Arkansas. So, surprisingly, leaving Kentucky and heading to Arkansas. And basically, this is the portal effect to me.
Right.
And, there are a lot of people talk about the kids leaving. And this is the other argument to that, because you talk so much about the kids leaving the schools and going in the portal. What about these coaches that leave the school to get more money at another school, right? If I commit to come to your school and then you get an offer for more money and then you go to another school, what's different about it? What's different about me taking an offer and transferring to another school because they offered me more money?
Because they try to treat the college kids like they're still amateurs, and then the coaches are pros, so to speak, or professionals. And they go, Coach Cal going where the money's at. From what I heard, Kentucky, some of their NIL boosters weren't really throwing that money like they was before. And Arkansas is throwing that money, and they program supposedly is rolling in massive dough right now. So
who's the biggest Arkansas fan out there? You know who that is, right?
Who?
Jerry Jones. He's their top alumni.
That is right.
So Jerry Jones got some very, 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 very deep pockets. So
yeah, I didn't even consider that.
Yeah. So Jerry Jones is probably one of the biggest contributors to their programs. So I'm pretty sure he had something to do with this.
Yeah, and there's some politicking going on there too.
Well, but you also have to remember that Arkansas is also home of Walmart, Bentonville, Arkansas. I think it's the home of Walmart. So that's where the Waltons are from as well. So it's a lot of money in that area.
They got bread.
Yeah.
And let's just be real. Kentucky, even though they were a great school before Coach Cal got there, Kentucky has, 14 years. They haven't really did much. So sometimes it's time for you to move on. You get what I'm saying? Like, you've been there 14 years. You lost, in the first round a couple of times, the 14, 16 seeds. I mean, sometimes you just got to shift over. But if Coach Cal was weird, they still owe him $33 million. So he could have been like, whatever, and been like, pay me my money and I'm dipping. But he didn't do him like that. So, I mean,
to me, Coach Cal, and me and Benji talked about this offline. Coach Cal, not to take anything from him, but to me, when I think about great coaches, I don't think of Coach Cal as being a great X and O guy. Maybe I'm wrong.
Me neither.
Right? I think
he's a leader of young men.
He's a great talent manager, and there are coaches out there who are not great X and O coaches, but they manage talent well. So
all that talent that he's gotten to the NBA, like, he had to taught them boys something. And you got to think, aside from Boogie, who really was the weirdest of them all, Rondo, good career. What's his name with the Suns?
It's a long list.
It's a long list of kids who just kind of turned out to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, you got a long list of kids who come into the NBA, and they actually are great professionals.
But I'll be the contrarian to that and say, I think these kids were going to be great regardless of where they went, because they were one and done. These kids were only going to that school simply because of the NBA rules that they can't go unless they have 1 year of college, right?
Yeah.
I think,
18, 17, 18-year-old kids, you got to think what we was doing at 17, 18.
No. These
it ain't changing in a year.
These kids different, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd agree. Them kids are different. The Shea Gilges and the John Walls.
These kids have had trainers since they were 5 or 6 years
old.
old.
Oh yeah, they doing extra training
AAU their whole lives.
Mm-hmm.
They're just different as far as skill level when they come out of high school. So there are a lot of guys coming out of high school that are not going to colleges, that are going to these alternate routes like Henderson, and still getting to the into the to be a draft, to be a top 10 draft pick.
10, yeah.
To be a lot
But
of
who does he have this year that's coming out that you would say is
I
great?
don't know.
Like
That's what I'm saying. I have not watched Kentucky this year, so
I haven't either. So I can't lie. But I say this: I do hope Rajon Rondo gets the head coaching spot. I do hope that, and I hope his daughter, because he said the only reason why he's not really coaching is because his daughter's in volleyball. So I'm hoping, you know what I'm saying, Doe gets the job and his daughter gets to play V-ball at Kentucky, and we get to see Rondo as a head coach. I think that would be dope.
Yeah. Nah, I would love to see that. So yeah, shout out to Rondo, and I know Benji, big Rondo fan, big Boston Celtics fan. So yeah. Rondo's a dope player, great player.
It's all right, Patricia. Right. I know you know what I'm saying?
Lakers fan.
Hey, I still pull up to the Laker games. I just want you to know.
You better.
I'm just saying.
Speaking of the Lakers, there's a guy that plays for the Lakers who is his career is dwindling down to the end, even though he's playing at a very high level. He doesn't have too many more years to play in the league, but we also know that this man has been lobbying to have his son play in the league with him on the same team. And guess what just happened? This man, Bronny James.
Wait, hold on. Is that
he declared for the NBA draft?
Are those bangs hanging down off it? What are those? Are those nappy curls?
Those are some straight curls. Calm down.
We're not going to analyze this young man's hairdo or anything like that.
My bad.
But the argument this week ensued when people were posting about Bronny and his decision to not only enter the transfer portal, but also declare for the NBA draft with no representation. Right. So that if he doesn't go high enough or go to the team that they feel like he should go to, then he can back out of it. Right.
Right.
So I was talking to a lot of people, and number one, they say, well, what we trust LeBron, and we know LeBron's got a plan for him. And yes, LeBron is a billionaire, so the kid's gonna be all right regardless. Right. So why not take the risk? But my first question is, when people were talking about, well, he didn't play so much because of the heart condition. Well, then, so you telling me he didn't play a lot because of the heart condition, but he's healthy enough to go play against NBA players?
He is not ready.
That doesn't make sense to me. And then if you look at
that is a great point. But he would be under better medical coverage, do you think?
But still, why would I outside of
money regardless? So
I agree.
Outside of monetary gains, why would I, as an NBA team, auction off my whole future for a one and done year of maybe LeBron coming to my team if he's not going to stay with the Lakers and have this farewell tour and leave me with a child or a child of his who is right now? People got mad at me, but he hasn't even proven anything that the Nastas after Kupo hasn't proven. Like, at least the Nastas has played in the NBA. He played in the G League. He played overseas, right? So he came into the NBA with playing experience at a pro level, where Bronny is not 6'7". He's not
6'3", right? With shoes on.
Yeah, that's pushing it.
Yeah, so technically he's like 6'1".
So you want him to come in, and he's not a point guard. So, but you want him to come in and play the two, a small two in the league. I said off the rip, if they draft him, he's got to go play in the G League. He has to go play in the G League.
For sure.
Right.
But at least he'll be full-time training. But I'll say this. My thought on it is really, it's that brown money to your market. That's really
That's what I'm
if we're
saying.
being
Like,
totally honest, that's kind of what it boils down to. If you are, let's just say not saying he's going to the Charlotte Hornets. Let's just say you're the Charlotte Hornets and you're the new owner and you get an opportunity to draft so-and-so. And Bron is like, I'm going to come if you draft my son. Like, that's instant ticket sales, $1 billion. And it becomes a business deal. Everybody knows it's really a business deal because everyone knows this kid ain't ready for the NBA. He ain't finna go in and ball nobody up in the NBA. But at this point with the NBA, it's about business. It's like Bron brings $1 billion to your market, like just off of him alone. His business partners, his business moves, and then you bring his son. So that's the only thing I can see with it.
So again, it's not about the competition or the game itself. It's about entertainment. It's about getting paid. And again, when I have conversations about, the competitiveness of the game today and the difference between, when they say, well, we threw with the 90s and this and the early 2000s and all this stuff. I mean, the competitive of the competitive nature of the game and the entertainment factor have switched places.
Oh, yeah,
where it used to be, we're gonna entertain you, but these guys out here really competing. Now it's like we competing a little bit, but we really out here to to cross you over. Like Tracy McGrady said, you're gonna sit up here and dribble 14 seconds off the shot clock to get a shot that you could have got 1-2 dribble pull up. And you could have took that same shot, you know what I'm saying? But it's less entertaining, but you still can get that same shot.
Something super entertaining.
So
it's an entertainment league, man.
But yeah, it's definitely about the money at the end of the day. So,
for sure it is.
But yeah, shout out to Bronny. I hope that he can, surpass all the things that people think of him right now. And if he actually gets drafted into the NBA, I want him to be good. I really do want him to be good. I'm a huge fan of Bryce. Number one, I've been saying for years that
Bryce over Bronny for sure.
Bryce seems like the better prospect to be an effective NBA player in the long run. But Bronny does have some redeeming qualities. He's very athletic. Of course, he got the DNA. He didn't get the size, but he's still young and he can grow. He might hit a late growth spurt.
He could have a late growth spurt. Yeah. That can happen.
Yeah, he might hit a great late growth spurt and grow from 6'2" to 6'6", and we're looking at something totally different when he goes from 6'2" to 6'6". So
yeah, that's absolutely different. And if he can still remain that physical and active and like if he can still do all that and he does get a growth spurt, then it'll be something else to look at.
Yeah, we're looking at something totally different. So
for sure.
But
I want to know what is the mama thinking about her baby.
The mama's thinking.
I understand what Bron got going on. What does mama
already said what she thinking
at this point with your baby? Because
she worried about her baby for sure, and I don't think she thinks he needs to go to the NBA yet.
Mama didn't already said that she ain't worried about that stuff. She worried about her baby being good physically. Right. She's not worried about the NBA stuff. And Bron was like, yeah, I'm worried about the NBA stuff. In the interview that they had.
That's his role.
I guarantee you right now, if Bronny and everything changed and he just didn't play, don't go NBA, nothing, Mama's not going to care.
Nobody's going to care.
Not going to care.
I would agree.
Nobody's going to care. Agree. Nobody's going to care but the people on the internet who want to argue about who's the GOAT. Because somehow, some way, they're going to bring up Bronny. They're going to bring up, Bryce. They're going to bring up Jordan's sons in comparison in between the two in their college careers and their numbers. And I'm like, bro, what does this have to do with anything? Like,
hey, I saw a stat line today that said Jordan's son is better. Jordan's son averaged 8 points.
Statistically, you know what? I watched Marcus Jordan play when he was at UCF, and he wasn't bad. He wasn't a bad player at all. He was, he's got 2 sons, and the other son is maybe like 6'2" or something like that. And then Marcus is like 6'4", 6'5". So he was a more complete player. Not as athletic as the older Jordan son. I forgot his name right off the top. I think his name is Jeffrey. But but he had a decent game. He had a decent
Right.
game, and he belonged at the college level.
He gonna
And
be released, right?
he hooped and he got on the team based on his own merits, not because of who Mike was. Right?
Right.
Michael Jordan was like, they can go wherever they want to do. Go. It's on their own merits. They're doing it
Right.
on their own. So,
Yeah,
but
you
yeah,
do what they want to do at this point, pretty much.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I said, I just want to see guys be successful, you know what I'm saying, and not have to fold to the pressure of their dads. So, LeBron's great, Jordan's great, let their kids be, and shout out to Bronny and Bryce and, coming up future stars. And hopefully Bronny, makes the best decision for Bronny and and it turns out well for him.
I just hope the kid is healthy.
Yeah.
Other than that, I have flashbacks of Reggie Lewis. I was watching that game.
I didn't even want to bring that up, bro.
Exactly. So
yeah.
Don't put that juju out there. Just hopefully.
I mean, you just
it's too soon, and that's just it is what it is. But
right.
Hopefully he doesn't get drafted and he goes back and he just does what he does, and we'll try again next year.
Where does
that really what's going to happen? No, because every team
college,
is going to be trying to pull for him so they can pull some LeBron, so they can go on a LeBron and Bronny tour on their sales and tickets and money. So,
hey, marketing wise, yes, but if he goes back to college, he got to pick a school.
Well, Ohio State is my number one pick for him. I think that's where he should have went first originally, but I understand he wanted to stay at home. He wanted to be close, close to the family, and of course, mom. You know what I'm saying, and brother. Yeah. So I get it.
And that was a pretty good move because honestly, with that condition he had, they were close.
Yeah, I think that
so you know what I'm saying? Condition that ended up working out.
But personnel wise, it didn't work out because of who they already had. The lineup that they already had, and I'm like, play style, wise, that wasn't a good fit for him because he was not better than the guys who were already there, who they already had. So like, let's
and
just
now the coach is gone, right?
Yeah. So yeah, but hopefully for him everything works out. If not, hey, his dad's a billionaire, so hey, who cares?
Dad's got you.
At the end of the day, he's straight.
All right. And we're going to stay in this basketball lane because we got to talk about the ladies, right?
Yes.
So first thing I want to talk about is Angel Reese, right? This whole thing. This whole thing. And I wanted to show this moment because this is the big moment for the week when she was up and she was having a conversation and her teammate were talking about the bullying, about the negative attention, about the things that she has had to endure. And I had to have a conversation with people and explain to them. They were like, well, she was out there, doing you can't see me and all this other stuff. I said, well, that's on the court. Right. That's competitive stuff.
All game taunting.
Yeah.
Like that's
what I'm saying. That's on the court, right?
Right.
You all are taking what she does on the court, off the court, and you're inboxing her, threatening her life, talking about, raping her, talking about doing all these other wild things that has nothing to do with her on the court.
Right.
So you vilify her off the court. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you want to
don't even know her.
Right. If you want to go to a game and you want to cheer against her and you want to sit in the stands and do the you can't see me to her in the game, that's in the stands.
Right. Whatever you want to do at the game.
Yeah.
Right.
But sending her DMs and sending letters to her house and to her family members, all that other weird stuff, that's wild. She's still a very young chick. And she shouldn't have to endure that. Nobody's child should have to endure that. And I keep reminding people that is somebody's child.
Yes. She's still a child.
If you are 30 and 40 some years old, messaging this girl because she went like this and probably beat your team, you need a therapist.
You know what's going on behind the scenes.
Okay.
But she beat that white girl. You get what I'm saying? Come on, dog. Them folks wasn't saying happy-go-luckies.
Well,
the N-word, I'm sure, was slung out there.
Yeah. Well, this year they did.
Can't stand that error.
Well, this year they didn't beat them. They lost
against
them, and people were very critical about her and her game and how would she fit at the next level? So that's one thing I want to talk about very briefly too. Is Angel Reese declared for the NBA for the WNBA draft.
Right.
She did, yeah.
So here's the question.
I knew she was going to.
Having watched her game, and to me, she seems very limited offensively.
She is.
So how does she fit into the WNBA game? Because all those ladies are offensively like they like that. Just about every position in WNBA can score, can put the ball on the floor, can do a number of things, and they're very, very skilled.
Yeah.
So I didn't see that from Angel Reese. I'm not saying she can't contribute, but I don't see her being a star at that level unless she dramatically, changes her game. So Trish Michelle, what do you think about her projection at the next level? What do you see?
I mean, well, I was looking at a post yesterday, where they put her in a mock kind of draft pick section. She was like 7, and I was looking at why she would be 7 amongst the other ones, and that was what I'm in my head. Like the other ones are all around, especially offensively, better than her. She doesn't give that much razzle dazzle. They're gonna have to put her with some elite training and getting it together, because she's gonna go to the WNBA. So that's that, and she's gonna go somewhere, but they're gonna have to like develop her more offensively, to bring up forth the skill sets. Because like you said, she can contribute, but she's gonna get outshined. She's not gonna be who she is right now to everybody. She's in WNBA. She's gonna die down a little bit.
So you think she's gonna be a bench player?
I wouldn't say bench, but I think she's gonna come out and it's gonna show like she ain't really what they already got, and then she's gonna come down a little bit till she get it together. So yeah, she's not initially gonna start off like that, but she's gonna probably end up on the bench more than she thinks she is.
Well, somebody told me she's Dennis Rodman. She's a female Dennis Rodman. Ooh. She's boards and defense and nothing else.
That's it. And I think it depends on what team she goes to.
That's what I'm saying. So depending on where she goes,
because if she can just go and board, rebound,
some bench time for sure, more than she's even gonna like and expect.
And it will depend on how she develops her game before she goes to the WNBA.
She's gonna need to develop offensively in a major way to be seen differently in the WNBA.
Now, for the record, she ain't gonna lose no NIL, she ain't gonna lose her endorsements. So she's still gonna be making her money. Will her?
She makes a nice little amount off those.
Right. And how's her work ethic? It didn't seem like she fell off, but I mean, defensively and rebounding, I think she can go help. What's that team? The Knights. I think she can go help them. So.
Well,
depends.
It would make for a nice story if she gets her offensive game up to be, battered and bullied, to come in and outshine. That would be great. But
I think when she gets to that level, and her being at a professional level, which means that's her job, which means that she's going to have more time to devote to that specifically.
Yes.
She can make those leaps and bounds, those changes, maybe over the first few seasons, and get much better. So
yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, so I feel like the potential is there, and of course, with her being the height that she is, like they said, you can't teach height. So what I'm saying, like, she's tall. She has a natural gift already,
and she's aggressive enough.
Well, she's aggressive enough for the college game, but
that's true.
You get in the NBA, with the WNBA, those girls are.
I mean,
yeah.
They play in the East.
Like you said, it's gonna take a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
So, but then we'll start to see who she's gonna be. It isn't right. She gonna get a little awakening when she get in there.
All right. So speaking of awakening, that's a good segue too. So speaking of awakening, what about this awakening that this young lady's gonna have at the next level? Because that's been the other conversation of Caitlin Clark, great college, career, amazing player, amazing shooter. Right. First and foremost, she's one of the greatest.
She can pass. She can pass pretty good too, though.
Well,
she's deadly.
One of the greatest shooters that college basketball has ever seen. Right.
Yeah.
But when they put an actual top tier defender on her the other night, South Carolina did.
Down.
It changed things, and that that is what Diana Taurasi was discussing when she said that at the next level you're gonna have to reprove yourself. Like coming in with the
Get a
skills
little
that you got
stronger, right?
is good, but that girl that was defending her, I'm sorry, I think her name was Raven. I forgot her last name.
Raven Johnson.
Raven Johnson.
Yes,
But
yes.
when Raven Johnson was defending her, every team in the WNBA has one or two of those.
Yes.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have one or two of the
For
top
sure.
tier
The
defenders.
security defense was what they
Yeah,
called
so-
her because
yeah.
she was shutting it down.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
so-
because she was talking trash. You know, she kind of, you know, did a little trash talking last year when, you know, against the Johnson girl. So the girl had some get back
rightfully
to give
so.
to her.
Rightfully so. She talked down to her when she was getting ready to shoot a three. She waved her off,
Right,
because
But not
because
even in just that game. The game before that, she was shut down
Raven
too.
Johnson wasn't a great player, but I mean, not a great. I mean, a great shooter. That's
Yeah.
what I meant.
Right,
I'm sorry. She wasn't a great shooter last
I knew
year.
what you
So
meant. Yeah.
she went and worked on it, and she got better this year. Like her shooting percentages went up. She's able to shoot, and she went and worked on it, which you should. But as far as defending Caitlin Clark, I think at the next level, the coaches have already looked at her tape. They've already seen her play.
fact.
They're already developing, strategies and things like that now, because I mean, she can come into the league and make an impact immediately.
Oh yeah,
I agree.
Her shooting,
With that three ball though, that's a game changer though, bro.
30 foot.
Yes.
Yeah, 30-footer.
30 feet.
But here's the thing though, it's a different scenario when you come into, the WNBA and you got the different colleges that you've been playing against. They have a defender that may be, 5'11", 5'10", maybe 6 foot. Man, these WNBA girls, 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", long, can defend, can move, highly skilled, and literally every team has a handful of
those, right?
That are like that. So
and you know what? The other thing to take into consideration also is that when she was shut down, mentally she was frustrated. She was
so a couple of those, especially in
many ways.
Sure.
So she gonna have to figure something out.
Oh yeah, no, she can't throw the temper tantrums. She can't throw the temper tantrums at the now what will happen WNBA wise, she'll have some challenges, but she will be very successful when she goes overseas, because most of the ladies, they play WNBA, and unfortunately because they don't make a lot of money in the WNBA, they have to play in overseas leagues. When she goes overseas, wherever she goes, she's going to be a rock star.
Now I
mark
will
my
say
word.
This, though. Now I will say this though, because they don't have to, they don't lose their endorsement deals. A lot of these girls may not have to go overseas anymore because they can take their money that they got in their deals from college to stay
they're
in
still
the
not
WNBA.
making NBA level money.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
but when you get offered $5 million, I mean, not saying that it was totally legit, but when you get offered $5 million from the big three, I mean, there's some people out there who will back you money wise.
If Ice Cube offers it, it's legit. So I'm never going to say if it was legit or not, but it's definitely one of those things where he's trying to draw attention to his league, which is rightfully so, which is what he should do. But let's be honest, the foolery has to stop, people.
Facts.
Ain't no woman getting out there with grown men
that
play at the highest level.
That's the jail. That's the jailhouse.
And gonna dominate.
Big three is the jailhouse.
Could she hit a few shots? Maybe. But listen, it's crazy talk to think about. They talking about, well, yeah, she could make an NBA roster. Man, please.
Stop.
I said, okay, here's the proving point.
Brittany Griner can barely make the NBA.
No. Here's what we do. So since they say that she can make it in the NBA, how about her and Bronny play one-on-one? You know what I'm saying? If you can beat Bronny, then we can have another discussion. Then if you can beat Bronny, either Bronny or Thanasis.
I just want to see Bronny and Thanasis in a skills competition. I'm just saying.
Oh man, I don't know. Thanasis is pretty skilled. we laugh and we joke, but when you look at some of the footage of him playing overseas and some of the stuff that he's done in the NBA, like some of the moves, like they legit. He's not a NBA level player to me. I think he's definitely he should definitely be in the G League competing every night, right? Not sitting on the end of the bench playing with his brother and wasting time and just practicing, basically being a glorified practice player. But at the end of the day, if your best player and one of the top 5 players in the league says he wants his brother here,
that's what you do.
You kind of do it.
Facts.
So the same thing with Bronny. So if you are part of an organization and Bron says, I want to come here, but my son got to come, you kind of do it.
Only up the ends.
You kind of do it. So, but yeah, again, basketball entertainment, and Caitlin Clark is definitely entertaining. Ice Cube, Big 3, I love it. I watch it. It's entertaining. So why not offer her $5 million? Because the talk is going to be the talk, and every single week.
Yeah.
If
and
she
only got
signed
to
that
play
contract,
about, what is it, 8? Did they say 8 or 12 games?
Well, I don't know. Whatever game she plays, trust me, people will be tuned in, and people will be buying tickets. It'll probably be sold out, and people will be trying to check it out just because it's a public spectacle. They want to see what it's about.
4-point line all day.
she better stay out there.
Right.
She better stay out there, because if she come to the paint, like you said, Reggie Lewis them in there.
Trouble.
No, Reggie Evans. Reggie Evans them in there. Yeah, man. Nah, man.
Trouble.
Stay outside.
But how about them ratings though for the women's college basketball though? They were doing 14, 13, 12 million more than some of the
18.7 for the WNBA.
Yeah.
So, well, we
I mean the NCAA championship.
Yeah, we expected that though. Last year, I think was kind of that step up, and we saw everybody kind of get involved, and it's storylines now, and you can tell when you have sports is sports, but people love storylines,
right?
So when you have the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese storyline, and then you have the
that
South
set
Carolina
the tone
women
from last season to
everyone
into this season.
Everybody wanted to see that, and then you have South Carolina doing what they did,
going undefeated.
Everybody jumped on that bandwagon.
Continue to win, so then they on that story.
Right.
Yeah, so everybody loves a good story. So speaking of South Carolina, everybody's been talking about Dawn Staley and her accomplishments, both as a coach, but also when she played as a player.
Yeah.
So her effect is being felt across the landscape. But it was funny because we had conversation about everybody's talking about Caitlin Clark being the greatest college basketball player ever, and we had to remind people that this is a recency thing, that because she's the most recent thing on your mind, you're saying those type of things, but you can't forget about Candace Parker. You know what I'm saying? You can't forget about Maya Moore. Maya Moore
was a beast at UConn.
Is probably the best women's basketball player that I have seen.
Right.
That I mean, like defense, offense, complete game outside of Cheryl Miller back in the day that did everything at that size.
Man,
we're talking about
she ain't touching Cheryl Swoops, man. We could go all the way back, Ken. We could go back to the Swoops days.
Well, I love Swoops, but just looking at their games, Maya Moore, you're talking about 6'2". You're not talking about 5'11". You're not talking about 5'10". You're talking about 6'2", can do everything on the court, literally.
I agree. And she got rings to back it up.
Yeah, she was one of my favorite players. And to say that Caitlin Clark is better than Maya Moore, I can't do it.
I can't do it.
Now, shooter, maybe. Yeah, maybe we could talk shooter.
Because Maya Moore didn't come up in the era of shooting it from 30 feet. She came from, the era of hoop. She could do inside out. Listen,
mid-range.
Ain't too many women I've seen, today's time. I mean, I know there are some, but their mid-ranges ain't as tight as a Maya Moore's. I'm just saying.
Well, they don't work on it, right? The game is layups, finishing, 3-ball. So mid-range on all levels is not something that these kids work on at all for the most part. But that's why you'll see somebody like Anthony Edwards come in and be super effective at the game, or Jimmy Butler be super effective and efficient because of the shots they're taking. And it's not just the number of shots, it's the location of the shots that they're taking. So they took the old school approach of finding my spot, getting to my spot, be efficient, 1-2 dribble, pull up,
boom, boom.
doing the same thing the old school dudes. And then people will talk about Michael Jordan couldn't do what he did in this game. Well, what is Anthony Edwards doing? The same thing. What is Jimmy Butler doing? The same thing.
Dwayne Wade.
So
Sean Livingston.
So people want to, some of these bronze sexuals want to hate Mike so bad that they want to discredit him.
So bad.
And I'm like, dude, he would be just as effective, if not more effective, because you can't be as physical with him and you can't hand check him.
Right.
No.
So he had to fight through hand checking, and it was a 7-footer sitting in the middle of the paint every time he went in there.
Right.
So you can't do that anymore. And a lot of times these 7-footers now, you got some of these teams, they got a 6'5" center. They got a 6'6" center. Can you imagine Mike going to the hole on a 6'6" center?
It's easy money.
Easy money. But hey, we're not gonna get into that conversation. I just want to talk about, just want to get back on Dawn Staley. Dawn Staley is an amazing coach. She was an amazing player. She's an amazing piece of women's basketball, and we just want to make sure we give her flowers because she's been a great competitor from high school all the way through. We watched her Team USA. She checks all the boxes, and she might be, she's not mentioned in the GOAT conversation for women, but maybe she might need to be in that conversation.
When her career is done, she will be
elite all around and coach.
She gonna win. She ain't done winning championships.
Yeah, she's definitely Hall of Fame.
She's
definitely Hall of Fame.
She ain't done winning championships.
I don't think so either. I think that South
Carolina team is gonna load up again.
This just speaks by far as to the type of coach that she is and the development that she brings. You lose your top 5 and you still come in undefeated and come back for the chip. Like that speaks volumes as to the type of coach and play developer she is. Like she ain't done.
You can tell by watching the South Carolina team when you watch them, like they weren't one-dimensional.
Oh no, you see,
like they could get up the floor, they could play deep, but you could tell
movement, just everything was just
like she pulled the ball back and said, "Get it to the big girl in the middle and play." Like you can tell that they were coached well,
but they played like their coach. And a lot of times, in a lot of cases, your team will take on the characteristics of the coach.
That is true.
That
is true.
So in this
LSU
case,
definitely took on Kim Mulkey's personality. That is a fact.
So, we say that all the time, but South Carolina is the perfect example of the team mirroring the coach and the way the coach played and the way the coach's attitude is and her approach to the game. They bought in and they won it all. So shout out to them, man. Fact. Well deserved. So we want to take a shift to some music. We're going to talk about some ladies, but it ain't the WNBA. It's, some ladies of music. So somebody sent me this before the show and said there was a contest, a twerk contest, a song that's going on between Meg Thee Stallion, Lotto, and Glorilla.
Yeah, Glow.
So let's just get this out the way. If it wasn't just a song, if it was just a twerking, this is the order that it will go in from left to right on your screen. Hands down.
Absolutely, hands down.
Because Meg Thee Stallion is gonna wash everybody else on the screen with her twerking ability. But when you talk about rapping, we have to go to a different approach, because to me, now everybody else can argue and say, well, I'm from Texas, so I'm biased. I'm not Texas and I'm biased. To me, out of the three,
Glow.
I've seen Meg rap freestyle before she got big. Since she's been big, her freestyle she's a monster. She's a monster. Like, she raps about the whatever people want to hear on her songs, but when they get her on these shows and she freestyles,
freestyle.
I've heard some cold freestyles from Meg. I'm not gonna lie.
She's a monster, and I love her delivery too. So to me, it's Meg, Glorilla, then Lotto. Not take anything away from Lotto, because Lotto can rap too.
She can.
But I think for me with Glorilla, the same thing. I love her delivery. I love her voice. I love her, you know, her presence when she's in the room, when she's on the mic, because when she's on the song, because you know when she comes on and she starts spitting bars, you know exactly who that is.
Who that is, right?
Cuban on Cuban.
Cuban.
And
100,000 for the Cuban.
So, you know, but like I said, twerking, I mean, you know, I don't really care because I ain't really paying attention to that like that.
Release her
you know
video
what I'm saying?
today.
What do you think Glorilla is about to have going?
I don't know. I hope I don't come across it while it's going on social media. That's all I'm gonna say.
listen. I don't want to see Glorilla doing nothing but rapping. That's all I want to see her do is rap.
I mean,
that's it.
I don't know. She might surprise y'all.
Yeah, Glow. That's all I want.
That's all I want to hear, and that's all I want to hear.
That's all I want to hear. Now,
I
Meg and Lotto.
That's a lot of
different. I'm not gonna lie. I was at work and I was finished with something, waiting on something. So I went to scroll and I was like,
"What'd you see? What'd you see though?
A whole lot of moving and shaking going on." I was like,
and I didn't.
I don't even know why. To be honest, still, because my phone was muted. I just know it was going.
Oh man.
And I was like, "Oh."
I'm just saying. I mean, I understand Meg. Meg got her knees. You know what I'm saying? I wish D Rose had her knees, but that's another story.
Bruh. Bro, that'd be crazy.
I mean, yes, that would be, man. That the basketball gods.
She got vibranium knees. Yeah, that's why I want. Hey, shout out to Black Panther, the whole movie and everything. But that's one of those weird thoughts that I used to have randomly. Is what if they could have made Derrick Rose some vibranium knees, bro? Yeah, that would have been crazy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Glorilla might just surprise y'all. I'm just saying. Don't count her out. I'm just saying.
It's gonna move.
No, dog.
But it ain't gonna move like.
She said it's gonna move.
Dog. No, dog.
It's not gonna move like Meg.
No, dog.
It don't matter what she do.
Meg is all natural. She's gifted.
Meg was at the Laker game, so they shine the light on her.
Anything.
Yeah. So yeah, no.
Once they all drop, it's gonna be social media gonna go wild. So
yeah. So shout out.
I want to hear what Anthony Edwards got to say when all three of them drop. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. So shout out to those ladies, man. You know, the twerk thing is cool, but those three ladies can actually rap. So shout out to them, salute to them, because I think that's what the game's missing, you know, as far as the women, especially. There's enough women out there just rapping about a whole bunch of madness, and not to take anything away from them, because there's a customer base for everything, right?
Right.
And not to take anything away, especially from Sexy Red. She does what she does, but you know, Glorilla can actually rap, right?
Yeah.
And when she was on Club Shay Shay, I watched that interview and it made me like her even more, because she seemed very authentic. Like she is who she is. And I love that about an artist. When you are who you are, you're not going to change for everybody else, or because of, you know, it's a certain style everybody else is doing. You're going to do you. You're going to stay true to your roots. And I love that about her. So shout out to her. And I hope, you know, she continues to pump out good music. And yeah, Glow.
Yeah, Glow.
That's my song.
Glow.
I'm not even gonna lie. That's my song.
I still haven't listened to it. You know what I'm saying? Still haven't listened to the whole song yet, but that chorus line, I like that. Yeah, Glow.
You know that's an essential piece to a banging song is the chorus.
Intro, chorus line, and then the closing got to be legit, main part, but you got to have a verse in there, and that song has all three.
Yeah,
but she's also, even the music video that's tied to it. She's like talking to younger her, like so her affirming like lyrics is to herself. So it's kind of like dope, like you know. So to know like that too, and watching it like something like that's my song. Cause I'm like that's hyping right. Herself I want to be like Glow, like you know.
You ain't gotta wait for nobody else to hype you up. Hype yourself.
Nobody like she hyped her. She was like, shoot.
She shot a shot at Damian Lillard. I don't know if it went in or not.
Yeah, it was from half court. I think it fell a little short. But hey, we'll find out. We'll find out. All right.
We'll find out.
So speaking of new music, there was an artist that released an album last week.
Oh boy.
Then it was one of those things where you go to sleep, you lay down, you wake up, everybody's talking about it, and it's like, what happened? What went on? And J. Cole released an album, and yes, this is the way the album cover looks, kind of sketchy looking, and it says might delete later. He did this on purpose. You know, J. Cole is a very thoughtful guy. He does everything with a lot of meaning behind it. And the last song on the album is titled 7 Minutes. And it's a diss track in response to Kendrick Lamar's verse on the song with Future and Metro.
Metro Boomin.
Oh, so that's where this came from.
Yeah, it's in response to that.
Future and Metro Boomin's piece.
Yeah. So it came in response to that.
And,
but you heard what happened, right?
But hold on before we get to that point.
No. I'm like, because literally I've seen stuff, but literally I'm learning right now through Ken, because I'm like, what the hell happened?
All right.
Yeah. So you know, this stuff has been kind of circulating for years. You know, them going back and forth about who's the best of the big three, as they call them. But so Kendrick put out that verse, and then J. Cole heard it, and J. Cole felt, you know what I'm saying, that the people in his camp and the people around him was like, man, you got to respond. Social media is like, you got to respond.
I'm like, yo.
So he felt like he had to respond. And so he did. And Benji immediately hit me and was like, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it. So of course, at that point, I was, you know what I'm saying, not gonna skip right to the last song because it's the last song on the album. I wanted to listen to the rest of the album, and the rest of the album is really good. I love it. I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest J. Cole fan, but I like his music.
Any features on there though?
Yeah, he got some features on there. He got some features on there, so people have to check it out for themselves. Some dope features, some dope songs. I think it's only at like 9 tracks or something like that. But the last track on the album is the 7 minutes, and to me, there's a song on there. I think it's like Crocodile Tears. If I'm not mistaken. I'm going to look it up so I can be for sure. So I can tell you all exactly what that song is. Yeah, it's called Crocodile Tears, number 2 song on the album. And there's actually 12 songs on the album. My apologies. And 7 Minute Drill is the last song on the album, number 12. And that's the diss. But Crocodile Tears, if you listen to the album, sounds like it should have been the diss. If you listen to that, go look up the album, and Crocodile Tears, when you hear his cadence, when you hear how he's rapping, when you hear the aggression in which he's rapping with, that's what I thought I was going to hear on the disc.
That energy in Crocodile Tears should have been what was displayed. And now 7 Minute Drill, is it 7 minutes?
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, supposedly the 7 minutes, he rides his bike like to the studio, and that's his 7 minute, like that's why he called it 7 minute drill. I don't know. People were saying all kind of stuff, like he was, you know what I'm saying, just hitting them with a warning shot type thing, you know. And I'm like, hold on. Kendrick came out hard and dissed y'all.
Diddy.
And you come with a warning shot? Nah. That ain't how battle rap. That ain't how beef work. You know what I'm saying?
If that's how you want to do it, but you know.
Yeah, you can't come out and call me all that.
You're not supposed to do that though. You're supposed to come hard.
J. Cole was in the studio like, yeah, I want to give him a warning shot. I want to talk to him. I want to let him know, you know, this how he rapping. I'm like, you're supposed to come with some aggression, dog. Like we want to hear.
And then the boy apologized.
Well, I don't have a problem with the apology, right?
I don't have a problem with the apology.
This is a different day and age when it comes to rap. Right. I think for us in our generation, we came up, we heard Ice Cube, Cube No Vaseline, we heard Tupac Hit 'Em Up, we heard diss songs. So we're used to the grimy personal stuff. But these guys don't have that type of energy toward one another in real life. They ain't got that kind of beef. So
it's all lyrics and, you know,
it's entertainment, right?
But Kendrick's name has been mentioned for quite some time among cats. So, and he stayed quiet, you know, didn't really address any of it. Supposedly this has been going on for a while. and he just never said anything. So finally he dropped something, and it's like, all right, like, why y'all, just for the sport alone, of hip hop, why not come out and give us something? That's the only thought I was having. But his weak bars, so to speak, got a lot of folks' attention though. His album did go, it was number 1 when it dropped.
Well, I mean,
Well, I wouldn't say the
the
bars a week. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris Michelle.
Oh, I was just saying, usually this type of beef happens around some type of album drop lately. So.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, I wouldn't say the bars were weak. I just think the delivery of said bars was subpar. And
think about it, Ken. You fell off like the Simpsons. Simpsons is the longest syndicated. Like when we go through like the semantics of it, it's like, hold on. Like, no, Simpsons was one of the longest standing, shows we have out there.
You have to think about it in this way. The Simpsons did fall off because nobody's checking for the Simpsons. Nobody's sitting there on Sunday night or whenever it come on and saying, "Yeah, I'm ready for the Simpsons." Nobody's talking about the Simpsons. Like the Simpsons was hot, right? When we was growing up, and everybody was looking forward to it. And when you went to
35
school on
years
Monday,
is a long time to be on TV, though.
But it's a lot of stuff on TV that's on TV because it has a core audience, but nobody's really hype about seeing it. But that core audience, right?
Right.
So I think that's really what he was saying.
Yeah, like Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, like
right.
I watched Grey's Anatomy a few times, but I got a classmate that was on there, so checked it out in support of her. Yeah. But other than that, like I ain't just said, you know what, let me look at Grey's Anatomy. Let me get caught up. Let me look at the episodes.
Right.
Like I haven't ever done that. So I think that's what he was aiming for. But again, could it have been better? Yes.
Yes.
It could have been better. It could have been better, and it should have been better.
Should have been better.
So
yeah, I can't.
I might have apologized.
The sad part though is that people were actually behind it, like it was. You said something, I didn't catch it.
I said I might have apologized too. If it's just like one of them things where you say, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna kill him, and then it don't go over well, and then you're like, you know what, I was just playing, y'all. I wasn't really serious about that.
Right? Like I was just playing, dog.
Like,
I'm just playing, dog. I joked you. Joke.
Yeah, that one.
Gotcha.
That one.
Sorry, J. Cole.
That one.
Now you downloaded my album already, so the numbers are sky high. So
jokes on you is what he really said. Got
it.
Jokes on you.
He definitely got his coins from
high five. I'm bulletproof. Ain't that what Kendrick said on that freestyle in the cipher? Kendrick, man, listen. If I'm a rapper in the game right now, I know it's all for sport. People can say what they want, talk about Drake and his numbers, his sales. Kendrick is probably one of the most feared rappers.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Right. Lyrically, like I don't know, but a lot of people will talk about some of the other rappers there, and there are plenty of other rappers out there who are, I think, like Saha the Prince, who are monsters with the writing piece of it that'll never get their just due because of nobody's really checking for bars anymore like that. Right. So unless it's got a nice beat to it. So
I mean, K-Dot is different, man. Like that, and he been spitting for a while, man. Like when I found his Untitled playlist, I was like, yo, like, what the heck? How did I miss this?
Untitled was cool, but I still think to me his best work was to Pimp a Butterfly.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
And
that thing is still charting, man. So
I will add, y'all gonna say I'm crazy, but when that came out, I was not too hot about it. I listened to it.
I wasn't either.
I was not too hot about it. It had to sit with me, and I had to play it, 5 or 6 times.
And you had to do it front.
Yeah, front to back. I had to play it.
Here's the weird part. When those albums came out, I wasn't even listening to hip hop because I was, stuck in church mode. You get what I'm saying? Like I was church boy. So when I caught on to the album, like it was already flames, and I'm like, oh shoot. So that's what made me jump on his catalog like later, and I was like, oh man. And so I caught a lot of the stuff late in the game. But man, listen, if you're just talking about bars and relevance and not just being one-dimensional and talking about the same thing over and over and over again, like his catalog is just different, man. Like It literally just went to a therapy album, bro.
I can't lie. I can't lie. When that album came out, y'all want to know why I went back and listened to the album so much? Is because I'm a huge Thundercat fan. I'm a huge Thundercat fan, and Thundercat produced a lot of that album. Right. So I had to go back, and matter of fact, I was listening to Thundercat's Essentials playlist, and sometimes they have some songs on there that that artist produced. So it was a couple of Kendrick songs on the playlist. So I heard them. I was like, maybe I need to revisit that album, and I went back and I listened to it on a few road trips last year, and
it's hard, bro.
Like it hit me all over again. It was like, wait a minute, this album is amazing. Hold on,
I told people
it was good, but it went up a whole nother level to me once I really sat and really just
actually listened to it. Right?
Yeah,
I told people, if you don't. When I first came out, when I listened to it all the way through, I was like, if you've never been to therapy, you probably won't understand the album itself. But get in that kind of mindset and listen to it. And I was like, yo, like, man, the one he does with the girl where they going back and forth, like just going at it. When I first heard that, I was like, dog, I can't listen to this. It's too wild. But then you go back and you listen to the album in its totality. You're like, oh, okay, I get the concept now.
Yeah,
you have to listen to the lyrics. Yes,
you gotta go front to back of that album.
Right,
you have to.
So I mean, he does songs. He's kind of old school. That reminds me of a lot of rappers from the '90s, where the album is an art piece, and each song kind of blends in with the next, and it's a theme, right? And I had to, and this is off the Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole subject, just talking about rap for a minute. I let my oldest son, my second oldest son, I let him hear Nas's Rewind. And if you never heard that album before, please go do yourself a favor and check it out. But that album, that song, he is rapping backward. He is rapping a sequence of events backward, and he is using the words backward. So that's an ode to guys actually being able to write and being able to story tell. And Kendrick Lamar is this generation's one of the, if probably not the best, he's up there of one of the best storytellers in rap right now.
Yeah. So, like I said, he's not one dimensional, man. Like
not at all.
I'm forgetting the name of the song, but How Much a Dollar Cost.
That's
one of my favorite songs, man.
That's like fire.
That's
my favorite song on that album.
Right. Like How Much a Dollar Costs. Listen,
fire.
Man, that joint, crazy.
Fire.
And you don't hear that type of material out there from mainstream artists.
No,
they don't put.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
A lot of these guys ain't putting that much thought into anything. They're just trying to churn music out.
Right.
Yep.
So shout out to them, man. J. Cole did his thing. We were disappointed with the track, but with him apologizing, hey, it happens in life. We all make mistakes. We all fell victim to peer pressure. We all
make mistakes.
Yeah, we all make mistakes. And he said he
album,
like no, not the album.
I mean, that song
to me.
That
yeah,
song.
the song
was rushed to the pen. And
I think so. I think he rushed it, and you all know what happens when you rush things. You know what I'm saying? You
probably had that album ready already, man. Ain't no telling.
I think he had those songs ready, but you know what happens when you rush things. You know what I'm saying? You usually end up finishing too fast.
Right.
Speaking of finishing too fast, man, we got to talk about this guy. We got to talk about this guy, man.
Oh,
he looked like he did it.
Yeah, man. That's why I chose this. I chose this picture because he looked like
he
totally
looked like everything they said.
Like he just like 50 Cent said, whatever he said, he did that.
He did it, right?
So, but Diddy did it, man. Listen, there's so much, so many layers to this stuff. But as time continued to go, there is so much more exposed about this whole situation. I mean,
it's a lot to unpack.
People are going back and actually reanalyzing songs that he did, songs from Notorious Big, analyzing lyrics. And I tell people that's one of the things that you really can't do with anything from the 90s, because things were just so different. There was a lot of things being said back then that now are very taboo, right? So you can't really judge it by that. But when you think about, the same situation with R. Kelly, when you start listening to his music, knowing what you know now, it kind of like, that was kind of questionable,
age
bro.
ain't nothing but a number. He really meant that.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's the crazy thing when I think about that. He's telling you age ain't nothing but a number. He wrote that song for Aaliyah, and he's sitting there with a 15-year-old girl.
Yeah,
and
man.
you're like, nobody was really up in arms about it, right?
That's one of the reasons why I kind of like his best song to me is Body Calling, because I don't get any young girl vibes in the song.
But whose body was calling?
You don't know.
How do
but you don't know whose body was calling him.
I know. That's the sad part.
But see, this is again why I keep telling people you have to learn how to, remove the artist from the art, right? It's art. You can't look at what he does in his personal, because what other artists do we look at and say, okay, well, they did all, what types of art? Do we look at Michelangelo and say Michelangelo was doing all this weird stuff outside of himself, outside of his art, before he painted, before he did a sculpture, or any of these other people? No, we look at the art for what it is. The art is the art, right? So if you listen to R. Kelly music, I don't have a problem with you. That's the art is the art. When you listen to P. Diddy's music, the art is the art. And it's a lot of these other celebrities that have movies and that have, music, and they've done weird stuff, and you're gonna find out later. The art is the art. I'm not gonna stop watching the Cosby Show because of what Bill Cosby did. I'm not gonna not watch a different world. I'm gonna watch a different world. I'm gonna watch Cosby Show. So, but my thing is with Diddy, this thing is, I think the fire is just starting, right? A lot of people feel like the fire is at a fever pitch right now. I'm like, nah, it's just starting.
Cassie, she laid the wood out,
right,
and said, "This is where the fire is going to start," and she just walked away. And then she let the other people bring the fuel, and then somebody
got paid and
lit it. And that's what we're dealing with now. She got the little snowball. She set it there at the top of the hill and said, "Okay, guys, have fun. Watch this." And she knew what she was doing, because her lawsuit began to question everything. And now all of a sudden, all kind of stuff is popping up. People are talking. People have certain relatable instances that they didn't have with them. And she's still cooperating in the back parts. She's still talking to them and helping them along the way. So,
and he is all over social media. Like, it's crazy right now. I don't think I had really paid attention to him for years. It just wasn't my style of guy. I was a pop fan, so
the problem is, just like he's in like every music video when he was doing his thing, he's still everywhere. You can't not pay attention to him. He's literally mentioned all the time still, like even before this happened.
And I'm wondering,
a part of everything,
when does he start snitching? Because if he starts to go down, somebody did a skit with Nino Brown with his face on it.
But how do you know he hasn't already started snitching? He might have already started telling some stuff, right?
My thing is, I think a lot of things happen the way that they've happened with a lot of other people because of Diddy.
Yeah, and you know what? And the unfortunate piece to it is there are going to be a lot of people who are innocent bystanders that are going to get hit, or that are going to get caught up with this whole Diddy scenario. That but you know what's crazy when you look back at Diddy and the lineage of his artist, like it's crazy because they all met, like demise, other than Mace, who got away from him.
Yeah, Mace is everybody. Like, I had to get out of that. Yeah,
everybody. Now I'm not talking about like these new artists like French Montana, and anybody else that's been dealing with him recently. But I'm saying like all of his original artists, the old school artists, like either they got away from him like the Locks did, or they ended up in jail, or they end up in jail or dead.
Yeah,
Biggie dead, Shine jail,
Craig Mack,
G-Dep jail, Craig Mack dead. Black Rob dead.
Kim Porter was about to write a book. Dead.
So I mean, it's crazy, man. And you know, it's one of those things where that's why you gotta watch who you attach yourself to,
Right.
right? Because we attach ourselves to people because we feel like they might be a certain level of success, and we see something in them that we want to be associated with at that time, but you don't know what they did to get what they got.
That is
That's what he led with, though. That's how he was doing Diddy camp for, Usher went to Diddy camp and his mama pulled him out.
Justin Bieber went to Diddy camp.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber went to a lot of what goes on at Diddy camp. Like, there's a lot to uncover when it comes to Diddy that we are not even scratching the surface really.
And we're talking about the 90s when a lot was allowed.
Well,
like under the table. We didn't have social media like we got now. Like he was on cameras, but there was a lot of stuff that people just weren't recording. So them stories, once they start coming out,
nobody recorded this stuff, just like with Bill Cosby, but people are talking.
Right.
And so when people start talking, folks pay attention and folks want to hear about it, right?
Because multiple people talking about the same thing too. Right?
Yeah.
That plays a part as well.
We want to hear it.
Cat said he had to turn down
his virgin hole. Protect his virgin hole.
It's stuff like that where people are like, come on now, it's too many people that have something to say about Diddy. So now we can't keep saying, yeah, right.
Nobody,
Orlando Brown said he kicked it with Diddy.
They're charging us for apples.
Y'all calling that man crazy, but a lot of his junk gonna be coming.
Hey, it's crazy because his old interviews are
it's been coming true. Yeah,
start surfacing, and he looked crazy, but
everybody want to write the crazy man off. But the crazy man don't be doing nothing but keeping that raw truth sometimes.
You got to remember, he's been in Hollywood since he was a kid.
Yeah, he's seen a lot. He's seen a lot.
That's one thing for sure. Now we're talking about Diddy and stuff. There's the whole Dan Snyder Nickelodeon thing that happened with Drake.
That too.
From off of Drake and Josh and all the other stuff that's going on. When you were talking about works and like artists and still listening to their music and taking that away, like all these people all these white folks and everybody else ain't gonna stop watching Nickelodeon or doing all that junk.
Because like, they invested. Them folks invested their money in Nickelodeon. They trying to keep that joint afloat, not tear it down.
Well, Nickelodeon is a staple, right? When we were growing up, like Nickelodeon was huge for us.
Right.
So you never want to see, something that means so much to you because everybody wanted to be slimed until you figured out what the sliming was.
Dude, like I was my mind was just like
you're like, whoa, I don't want to be slimed anymore.
Some of the skits that they played back from some of the shows when he was like, yo.
Wow.
Like this is insane that this was really on. Like
wild undertones.
Insane.
Hey, man. And the crazy part is how many of us watched that show and thought about being on the show or wanted our kids to be on that show.
Well, like I was about no kids because my kids wasn't old enough back then, but
I'm like, no. I never ever wanted to be
generation at that time.
Yeah, but my thing is at the end of the day, all of us wanted to be a part of Hollywood when we were coming up, or be a part of entertainment at one point. Yeah, everybody did. But now you look back at it in retrospect and you thank God you didn't make it because you're like, look at the stuff that these kids and these people have to deal with.
Right.
Well, we might not have even been here because we look at a lot of the celebrities and people that committed suicide and things like this, and we were like, why would you do that? Why would you kill yourself? And you got all this great stuff going for you. You got money, you got fame. Like, why would you do that? But now we're starting to see probably why.
Man. They had stories on these kids, man. Like
it's a lot.
Somebody mentioned, they said, imagine this scenario. If you go in, you're at a party, for a Nickelodeon or whatever, and you go in, you drinking, something slipped in your thing, you drink, and you out. And then you wake up the next day, they done videoed you doing all of this wild stuff. And then they want to like, hey, you know what? We got a deal on the table for you. And you be like, nah, I don't want to take the deal. And then they pop in the tape and show you, hey, this is what you was doing last night.
But that's not even how they ran it though. Back then, it was more or less. So Drake specifically was his statement was he never really spoke on it because he didn't want to lose his possibility of being famous and stardom.
Right.
And so you
And
take that and
we're
you
talking about Drake Bell, not the rapper.
Drake Bell. I'm
Drake
sorry.
Bell. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Yes.
I mean, who knows?
I'm sorry, not Drake the rapper, but
no Diddy.
He might have been part of it. He was the part of the Degrassi.
He was.
That's all. When you said it, I was like, "What? Okay." Then so you take that and then you go back to the Diddy thing where he had his Diddy camp, and then think about why so many people were still around because they didn't want to lose, like what Kim was saying, was the fact of being famous. Like they're dangling. This is, you think this guy
to carry the fame out to you.
Yeah, like you want to be him. You want to be as famous as Diddy. So stick around, close your mouth, shut up, deal with it, and you'll get here.
Unfortunately, Hollywood isn't the only place that grooms kids, as we say. You know, there's people who we grew up with, and some of us may have been around men or women that we saw grooming kids, certain spaces, when that creepy uncle says, girl, you're going to be fine when you grow up. You gotta watch it.
That is not an okay statement.
Yeah, that is not an okay statement. And
that is the fact.
You have to, as a family member, when you hear and when you see things like that going on with family members, you need to speak up. I don't care.
I agree. The sad part is that stuff was covered up, just like
he's just crazy. Oh,
yeah,
don't pay him no mind.
Why you letting him around your kids if he crazy?
Or the extra touchy auntie that want to feel all on your muscles when you come in the door, and they're like, "Oh,
that man Benji said he liked that one."
No, I didn't like that one.
Man,
I didn't like that one. I don't know. I don't even know how she became my auntie, but all I know is
like Charlamagne said, he was okay with with being molested till he smelled her Jerry curl, and he stopped messing with the lady who was molesting him and stopped wanting to be around her, not because of the molestation, but because he didn't like the way her Jerry curl smelled.
I'm not about to play with. Okay, speak. That just reminded me now though of what happened with the baby when he seen a fan in traffic.
Right.
So he opened up the door to let her get her little video, little selfie with him, but she like leaning on him, like she getting a whole little selfie, whatever. He let her do it, and then she come back over and fill him up real quick and leave.
She shot her shot, and unfortunately, it's one of those things where if that's a guy doing to a woman, uproar because it's a guy, it's a woman doing it to a guy. It's like totally it's okay, stuff. He'll be fine. Right. You know what I'm saying? And again, it is not okay for anybody to touch you, and it was uninvited, right? So,
absolutely not.
You got to check people, and also remember that when folks are around your kid, no matter who it is, no matter how awesome that person is, if they're doing something to kids or doing something to old people or doing something to women and anybody around you that's out of line, we got to start checking folks. It don't matter if it's your family member, relative, friend, or whoever. Check these people. Church members, check these people.
You got to, because half of the time the abuse is always by somebody that's closely related or closely around the family in some type of way. It's those people that say, "Oh," too. Those are the people.
I learned that from forensic files. You always got to check the inner circle.
That weird old man at church who keep talking to the little girls and sitting on the front row and looking at them as they go around for offering. Yeah, the pastors, y'all know that man might be giving some money, but you need to check him.
That's why I've never been comfortable with women praise dancers at church. I'll leave that alone. But that's another story.
I feel you, dog, because the outfits that a lot of these praise dancers wear bring unnecessary attention to themselves, and
if she's full figured,
as they always say, the church is a hospital for souls, and you never see people in a hospital that people go to the hospital because they're sick. So some sick individuals in that audience and peeping out these little girls. So you have to be very careful everywhere you go, but especially in places like the church. Don't let your guard down. Protect your people at all costs.
That is a fact. So if y'all see me ever kind of not excited about y'all praise dance team, there you go.
This guy.
I'm just saying.
From the mouth of Benji, no Diddy.
No Diddy.
No Diddy.
All right. So we got a couple of questions that we want to answer before we get up out of here. And these questions popped up on our timeline, and Benji so graciously, you know what I'm saying, hit us with these. So we want to talk about them briefly.
Let's hit it.
All right. So the first question is, would you tell your significant other that they need to pay you back if you gave them money? Trish Michelle, if your man
even considered paying you back?
But that's what I'm saying, like because
like
it,
that
it,
a thing. If that's who you with, like
well,
y'all paying each other back? Y'all keeping tabs?
Well, the actual post was I reworded it because I wanted the men and the women to have an opportunity to answer it. But the actual post was from a woman's standpoint. She gave her man some money. Well, no, the man gave her some money and he asked her to pay it back.
Right.
So they were like, guys, is it, would you ask your girl to pay you back?
And most women were like, hold on. Why would I? And
I'm gonna take it back to the red flag episode on both sides. Because if you're in a relationship together and that's your partner, your spouse, your significant other, and you have had money given to you or you gave money to them, vice versa, whatever, ain't no way should you be like, okay, it's the 5th. Where my money at? Like, pay me my money back. Like, at the end of the day, if you need money somewhere down the line throughout that month, I'm sure if you said, hey, babe, I need some gas or whatever, or without saying, hey, you still good or you need something, like it shouldn't be no tabs kept.
Right.
That's weird to me.
The motive, the funny part about it, though, is where I found it is that women, this one kind of came from a woman's perspective where the man takes care of everything. And whatever she asks, she gets, and she doesn't have to contribute to him in any type of way. So the guy in the space was like, yo, like, can you pay me back? And then it branched off into they asked about each other's account. So the boyfriend had like $12,000 in his account, and the girlfriend had like $70K in her account that her dad gave her. And her response you should pay for everything. I shouldn't have to give you anything and that type of stuff. So it got a little tricky in there. But my point is that if you're in a relationship, y'all should be quid pro quo anyway. Like,
it's more or less like, oh, you got dinner last week or whatever. Oh, I got it this week. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, I'll handle this, or you handle it. It's not even keeping tabs. Who did this more than that person? But if you in a relationship where you agreed to pay for it all from the beginning, now that's something else that that's something else.
I think that's the biggest thing to me is what was the talk at the beginning? Did you establish it under the guidelines of I'm gonna be the man, I'm paying for everything, or how she rock with 50-50? A lot of these ladies nowadays
that's the big topic.
Ain't trying to hear no 50-50. And there's somebody out there for everybody. Right. But ladies that don't rock with 50-50 don't get with a guy that gonna have to go 50-50 and then want to switch it up on them later on and say he can't afford you, he's a bum, he's this, he's that. You chose to be with him. Now you upset because he wants you to split these bills. And, but my thing is, if you're a team, and like that old folks say, teamwork make a dream work, like it shouldn't matter. You should want to pool your resources. And there's still guys out there that I know personally that are like, nah, my girl ain't paying for nothing. I'm gonna let her take her check, and she can buy whatever she want. She can do whatever he want, and rightfully so. I mean, if that's the way you want to rock, there's people out there for that.
Right.
But there's no way in the world that somebody I'm with, I'm gonna say, hey babe, I know you bought that dress and everything, you know what I'm saying, that purse, but I'm gonna need that bread back next week. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what do you even sound like saying that to your partner? Like,
babe, I need that.
Like, we live in the same house, we're married, or we were in a relationship or whatever.
Back, you know
like it's all going to the same pool anyway.
It should be. But not in all cases.
But if you're in a relationship and you're just dating and you don't live together and you have two different households and you function in two different manners and the money is given and it isn't explained to this person, I'm gonna need this back
that you're borrowing,
giving. It has to be an understanding. If you gave it to me because you was trying to stunt, you was like, yeah, baby, go ahead, buy that purse. Go ahead. It looks good on you. And then you get pissed off later on and be like, yeah, I'm gonna need that bread back. You can't do that, bro.
No, yeah. But if you really stated up front, like, hey, I got you, but you know, I gotta pay this bill later this month, and you are in separate households and you are on separate, you know, and you are and that's the agreement up front, and you know the expectation, then that's different for where they're like, hey, you got that? Because remember, it ain't on no like that's a whole different situation there, scenario. But the other one where you just now want to just keep some tabs on stuff and you want it back because your account look funny or whatever weird stuff you own, like that's a little odd.
I need my 5 G's back.
Now, if you let your significant other borrow have some money, and then you go through their phone and find out they've been sending it to some other dude or chick. Hey, I might need my bread.
Now there's always an exception.
You already know it, fellas. Check her cash app. Check her cash app, fellas.
Like they said, I'm coming to America.
You don't say what now?
Say, man, listen, there's always
he pimping you. He pimping your whole household.
Say, man,
at that point,
I think that would be the biggest slap in the face to find out.
That's a spit in the face.
That's
spit in the face.
Some people like to be spat on.
Some people will be up on Snap because you just spent all my payments and I ain't got nothing, and you giving it to somebody else.
Facts.
Some people like to be peed on, doodle. Man,
get back over here, Benji.
I'm just saying.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, again, when you're in a relationship with somebody, especially when you're getting deep in the weeds, as we say, like the financial discussions need to be had, and it needs to be an understanding put in place. And if you're in a relationship with somebody and they're asking for their money back, and that's not what you think should be happening, then you need to exit stage left. Point blank. Period.
I agree.
Communication. If y'all have not noticed the common denominator, communicate.
Yep.
Hopefully the comprehension level is pretty good. If you're dating
a dum-dum, then that's your fault.
I mean,
yeah, but sometimes they date a dum-dum because they make them come. So
well, then you don't have to come with the money. So
wow. I like that. All right. So we got one more question that popped up, and this one is gonna be a funny one as well. All right. So with this question, would you rather have your man or woman around a lot of friends of the opposite sex or a bunch of whore friends of the same sex?
Good Lord.
So, okay, Trisha Michelle, since you're the lady here, your guy, would you rather have him hanging around a bunch of his homegirls, or would you rather have him hanging around a bunch of his homeboys and his homeboys out there smashing everything?
Ooh.
You know what? I'm gonna go with his whore homeboys.
Talk to us. Why? Why'd you choose that?
Because at the end of the day, unless he's gay, he ain't fooling with the homeboys. So that means if they're going to go do whorish activities and you choosing to go do whorish activities, that says a lot about you. But now when you're around women and you're around a whole lot of other friends and they're friends and whatnot, women got the ability to do
some sneaky
things. And you got to worry about it on a whole different level versus it being his choice to be in those situations. Sometimes women is just there a lot by far, especially if it's his home girl, but then she done brought 15 of her college homegirls or whatever, and these was pressing him, and he got about 7 of them that's talking about I'll go down right now type thing. You didn't choose that situation, and I'm gonna have I ain't got time for all of that. But this one, you chose to be over there, so that'll say a lot about you over here to me. And you chose to go with the whorish friends to the hoish activity to go be a hoe, and so I'd rather you do all that so I can find out what type of choices you make.
Huh, okay. Ken, you go next.
Well, for me, it had to be the same thing. She would have to hang around birds of a feather, and hopefully she don't flock together, because I'm other old school thinking. A shoulder to cry on turns into a D to ride on.
Facts.
So, if she is around a bunch of dudes, she gonna start confiding in them, and then next thing you know, dudes gonna be dudes, and they're gonna try to smash. And if she's vulnerable, it might happen. So I'm not gonna throw the lamb in the lion's den.
Man, my man will be at a party and you got Meg and Lotto and whoever's doing their little contest.
Twerk dances.
What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
So yeah, I'm not sending my lady to the lion's den, bro. Yeah. I know how dudes are. I know how dudes get down, and yeah, I'm gonna trust her to be who she is amongst her friends.
Exactly. And that's my thought. But at the same time, your scenario that you're saying, it ain't just men that do that. Women do that too.
Facts.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying from a dude standpoint.
Yeah. No. I was just saying, like, women did some cold pieces in that part too.
Oh yeah, women the worst. Women the worst at a lot of this stuff
they
because they can get away with
meals because you ain't had no food all week, and then they get.
Well, see, yeah, you confide in that woman and you're telling her all the things your girl don't do, and then slowly but surely you notice that she's starting to do the things that you're telling her that your girl don't do, and she's starting to say things like, you should be appreciated, you should be celebrated, you're a good man. I can't understand how she's not doing this, and next thing you know,
if it was me,
Gok 3000.
Not the Gok.
But that's what's gonna happen. Her sin's gonna get cut short, and that's what's gonna happen.
See, got caught. Hey, that's real though. No, that's real.
See, so yeah, I mean, you know, unfortunately, you know, these scenarios are funny, but people are dealing with these every day, and these decisions that have to be made, especially now. Because you have women and men out there who pride themselves in being whores.
That is a fact.
There's a whole slut walk.
There's a whole garden. This is a garden tool movement. It's on full display.
I forgot that guy's name. His name is Jesse something, and he does a show. And Amber Rose is on there, and he said something about her slut walk, and she was like, "So what do you call men? Why don't men call sluts?" He said, "We're not sluts. We're slut makers."
I hate it.
But listen,
I hate it. But in all realness, you a slut too. But that's that. Yeah, men are sluts too.
Sluts.
Yeah, no doubt. No, yeah. But at the end of the day, Benji, what do you think? What would you do?
This was tough for me, dog. Because this is the way I see it. When you're around a bunch of hoes, if that's what you are attracted to, if those are your homegirls, that's in you to me. You get what I'm saying? So, like, I don't know too many women that hang around a lot of hoes that don't have that in them. So that's kind of how they, want to be.
That's how you grew up with. Like, I got some homeboys that I know that I heard they just stabbing left and right, but that ain't me, right? But those still my guys.
They steal your pot. But I'm not saying that's you. But what I'm saying is, it does speak to you in some type of way. So I struggle with that if I want my girl around a bunch of women who
So you would turn her loose around a bunch of dudes?
Nah, that's why this one is so tough.
No, you got to pick one, bro.
Hear me out, Benji.
That's why this one is so tough.
You got to pick one. Which one you picking, man?
You got to pick
Which one you picking?
You can't see the title.
Man, this one tough, dog. Like I can't.
Okay, hear me out on this though. This theory based off of what you're saying.
Okay.
That you believe that if she has some type of friend like that around, she must in some way.
It's like her spirit animal.
So no, that is not true because And I'm saying this because people, the spirit animal is insane. Like, they're insane. But life is about choices that each person's own individual, it's their own thing to make. So if this is the life that they're leading, unless I'm going out there with her to help her do her thing, I have nothing. I got nothing to do with that. She can make whatever choice she wants. And I can still be wholesome as I want to be over here. But I know her and I grew up with her and I got love for her as a person and wishes her well and nothing like that. But that don't mean I want to do anything that she does. Like, you can't.
In both scenarios, you gotta have some type of restraint, whether you're around all the partners or you're around a whole bunch of hoes. So you gotta have some restraint. So
your person shouldn't even want to be around, because I don't want to be in a house full of niggas.
You can either be wholesome or you can hold some. Which one you want to do?
Okay, so I would rather my lady be around a bunch of whorish women.
See?
Wow. Okay.
See?
There you go.
I would rather. To my dislike, of course. Because at the end of the day, the implications are kind of the same. You know what I'm saying? The dude's gonna be hitting on it. And now we're in an age now where women look at your woman and be just, dang, she fine. So you're in the same situation either way. So I wouldn't want no dude penetrating my woman.
It matters who your woman is. Is she gonna be who she gonna be with whatever situation? Right. So I would rather her be around other women than be around other dudes. And like one dude pointed out to me, he was like, the difference between a man and a woman, a man taking your lady or a woman taking your lady is the fact that dude, he got the same tools you got. He got exactly what you got. So if he took your woman, it's a little bit harder to receive that. Right. Then if a woman took your lady,
it's a conquer thing. For men, it's a conquer thing.
Well, but if a woman took your lady, then it's things that woman knows and the things that woman can do to your lady that you can't do. Yeah. You don't know anything about it.
Or your lady was curious.
Facts.
That too. So
see that's the thing. Both sides, you got to deal with the implications, because anything can happen. And again, remember, we just got talking about studs not too long ago. So she could strap your girl up. But see, for me, a man dominating your woman, and that's essentially what happens if a man takes your girl and has sex with your girl, he's dominating your girl. Because ain't no dude just, you know what I'm saying? One style. He flipping your girl. He filleting your girl. You know what I'm saying?
Like that meme said. Remember, he had your girls. Remember, he had your girl's knees by her earlobe.
Yeah.
There's some studs out there with that strap on that could do the same thing.
I'm saying that is very true, right? So it's all kind of in the same circumference, but I would feel more comfortable
your percentages
if she was around.
Are less likely if she was around her whorish friends, is what you're saying.
Probably a minute, because stay in the house.
This decision really took him down.
It did. He needs a resurrection. He has been floored now.
This one was a tough one when I found this one, because I really couldn't come to a logical, really good decision on this one. But because it's our show, I had to go with one. It's really
up to the person.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
At the end of the day, because you can choose whichever scenario, but at the end of the day, if she got it in her to fool with women, and you said with your whorish friends,
ain't nothing you can do.
They probably have a whole little festivity when they hang out, or you say with all men, and she get in her mind weakness, and
that's why I say that's why I said in the beginning, it's tough.
But there's one thing is less likely than the other, though.
I mean, if it's who you are and that's what you're around, I guarantee you there's some tendency there.
But if you have to worry about who she's around in general, then that ain't the person for you.
I mean, but you do got to understand, though, sometimes you come into relationships and they already have friends.
Yeah. I mean, so
you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? So you meet your home, you meet your boo, you meet your lady, yada, 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 and you meet one of the homies that's, you like, who in the heck is that? That's
wild. Homeboy. What you think you about to tell her?
That's your problem. That's what you got to deal with.
Well,
and
like
you don't know if he's smashed or not.
Well, like
I ain't telling you that.
Either
at the end of the day, if that's the relationship that y'all have anyway,
right.
She probably should have disclosed that to you before you ended up in the same room as him.
You would hope so.
Man, like Trisha Michelle said, either you gonna be about what's in you, or them dudes gonna put something in her. So, like,
that is a fact.
Like, so at the end of the day, I'm rocking with my answer. I'm not sending a lamb to the lion's den. I'm not sending my lady. I'm not being okay with her being around a whole bunch of dudes constantly.
Right.
It's not happening. And if she's with these ladies and they let her, and she lets them talk her into doing anything that, you know what I'm saying, is beneath her or not something that I think that she would do, then that's up to her. But I'm definitely not sending her around dudes because I know how dudes are.
Facts.
Facts. All right. So I think we've had a lot of entertaining things going on tonight, and we had a lot of great conversation and feedback. So we want to make sure that we give everybody an opportunity to say their piece before we get up out of here. Trish Michelle, talk to the people and let them know where to find you.
Look, y'all. Where do we even begin? Like, it was so much today.
Right?
Oh man, all I can say is mark my word. This is the beginning of the Diddy. We're in the Diddy era all over again, but in the
madness.
Take that.
Yeah.
You going to take that studios?
Yeah, I mean, and we just gonna see how it goes with Benji and his way of thinking. It's always amazing to hear. But anywho, in reference to where you can find me everywhere on social media, Trisha Michelle _YT always. And then of course the FIYAH Session, follow FIYAH Session. You can find me all the time on Tuesday.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming through and gracing us another episode. When Trisha Michelle is not here, we're not complete. I'm just gonna tell you that because she brings an edge to me and Benji's banter back and forth.
Yeah,
and she is our balance.
Yeah.
So
we appreciate your forehead.
Yeah. Because it's just not the same energy.
The week feels weird when I'm not. It just feels like I you know how you got things you do, you like something's missing out of your week. Like that's how I felt last week. Something didn't get done, something wasn't right, something was off, and it, you know.
We know you got to deal with some things and handle some business. So we appreciate you. We got your back like a car seat. You know what I'm saying?
That's one thing I for sure know, you know.
Yeah.
Facts. All right. Benji Banks, the man of the brand. Talk to the people, let them know why you ain't got on no sleeves today.
Man, I'm just chilling today, man. I've been on chill mode. Got a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Hit a little gym.
Day one, y'all. Day one.
Benji looked like he one of the Puerto Rican dudes from New York walking around. he definitely looked like he got on white pants. He got on white pants right now.
White pants underneath, you know what I'm saying? Like just chilling.
You got a white pants and some Timbs?
Nah, we
got a white pants, my friend.
Hey, but them corner markets, them bodegas be fired though.
Oh yeah. Get you a chopped cheese. Go get you a chopped cheese when you go to New York.
I mean, my stomach probably can't handle, but I'm gonna be all right.
Hey, your stomach bubbling.
Bubble. But we chilling, man. We got a lot of things in the works. It's so much going on, man. Gosh. I want to say this, man. To be honest, like every door that has been open for me has been amazing, man. Like I can't even front. There's been some challenges on a couple things, weird job, people, so but other than that, man, there's so many great doors that have been opening. Like I ain't got no reason to complain or whatever. So I'm grateful for that. Events coming up. Y'all already know the info I shared with y'all in the group about what's coming up. Contract is done on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a lot. I'm grateful. Ministry door open back up. And we're just gonna keep, you know what I'm saying, going forward, man. So loving the show, man. Celebrating with y'all every Tuesday is like a celebration because we get on, man. We cut up, we have fun, we interview people, man. And I promise you, man, I appreciate it. It is dope, man. So I'm looking forward to us continuing to throw this content out there and just kind of release a little bit, man. We do a lot of stuff and we come on the show and we just have fun. You get what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
So that to me, man, I don't think people understand how priceless that is. And our synergy is always so dope. So I appreciate that, man. And I can't wait, man. Like and you know, we're gonna keep growing this thing. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know where to find us, man. FIYAH Session, Instagram. Can't miss me on Facebook. I'm trying to get to 50,000. So hopefully we get there. But I know we will, but
we're gonna start playing the music.
He didn't
do the whole episode on his own on just the outro.
Forget you, man. Forget you. I am not fooling with you tonight. All right. I'm praying for you. All right. So
please,
leave me alone.
Please. And
I said, come on, Cat Williams, wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
And while I'm on the subject, but yeah, man. So super dope, man. Y'all keep tuning in. Y'all keep rocking with us, man. That was my cue to shut up. Forget you, Patricia.
Yeah, hey man. You know,
when I forget it's the outro, that's when I know it's bad.
And see, that's what. And see, what something Benji said is amazing too. This is really like a therapy session for us because you know we're human too. We get on here every Tuesday. We go live and we present things to the world and we talk to you all. And we appreciate the audience tuning in and rocking with us every week. But we all have our personal lives and we all go through things and we still bring this content to you. We still want to go live because it helps us. It's therapeutic for us. So we appreciate you all tuning in and supporting us and commenting and showing us love because we really value it and we need it too. Right. So I just wanted to end off with just saying something that we posted on the FIYAH Session quote of the day today is the storm doesn't last forever, right? Eventually the sun comes out and eventually that storm is over. So whatever you're going through, just know that it's going to end at some point, and things will get better. So don't be discouraged because you know, a lot of times storms happen in our life to teach us things, to make us stronger, to prepare us for greater rewards later. So just continue to keep pressing and just continue to keep doing your best to you know, to show love and support to the people around you, and hopefully they give you the same energy back. Y'all already know y'all can catch me at Big Ken's Comedy on IG, Big Ken's Comedy on Twitter, Big Ken's Comedy on Facebook. Y'all can catch us on all social media platforms. Just type in FIYAH Session. We'll pop right up. Y'all make sure y'all go to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button, and hit that little bell to get the notifications. So when we post new content, when we go live, you'll be notified. You don't want to miss any of the information that we put out there, any of the interviews, any of the entertainment, because as I say all the time, we put the medicine in the candy. We're going to educate you and we're going to entertain you at the same time. So y'all already know how it goes. We love y'all. We love the support. Continue to rock with us. Y'all already know. Tune in next week. We got a very dope episode coming again. We got another interview coming. Very dope individual. You'll be shocked and surprised by some of the things that'll be said and some of the words that'll be delivered. So just tune in and we love y'all. Have a great week. The FIYAH Session. Peace.
Solid.
Thank you for joining us today. Please follow us on all social media platforms. Just search FIYAH Session.